From West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Now we hear him. Another trick play. There's Olszewski. Whoa! Olszewski with the pass. Into the end zone for a Giants touchdown, Jameis Winston.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Prescott thinking about running. Is he going to get there? Gets a block. It's in. Touchdown.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Tied at 1. Lundell from Sam Miscavige at 6:30. Here's Bouchard. Wide open. Roslovic scores again. Beating Bobrovsky inside the right post. And what a response from Edmonton. Just 36 seconds after Lundell had tied it. Roslovic's second of the first period.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 547, Monday, November the 24th. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive, heading into work this morning or wherever you're out and about on a Monday morning. And, of course, you can watch us now on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would really appreciate that. Also on X, Facebook, and Instagram. As always, we're streaming on many of these streaming services: iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, Radio Player Canada, and sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show, it turns into the many, many podcasts that are out there. And you can find those where the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Just subscribe, select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Yes, good morning. Good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend again. Man, we're pretty spoiled with the temperatures on the weekend again. Fabulous weather to get out and about and do something, whatever you wanted to do on the weekend. Tons to talk about, to dissect from a busy weekend in the sporting world for sure. Let's welcome in our co-host on a Monday and a Friday from 7 to 9, the former Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team for the Double E, Eddie Steele. Good morning, Eddie.
KK, how are you, man?
Well, outstanding, and I have to let our listeners know, Eddie came by the house Saturday morning, a little, what we call the pop-in.
Quick pop. Did I catch you off guard?
No.
I thought, what if I'm knocking and they're doing something naughty?
Oh, stop it.
The old 9:30 a.m. or
Laura wasn't even home. She was out getting stuff or whatever for supper. But Eddie brought Laura some flowers. The kids came, Action Jackson and Soph, and they had a look at the Christmas village.
They were excited.
I was hoping. Around, yeah.
I didn't know if you would have all the Christmas up yet, but then it's Kevin. He's got to have it
up. Everything's up. We're ready to. I mean, you're there in the morning, so you don't get the full effect because it's better at night. But
Sammy was good too.
Sammy was
Saw
good.
The pop. Yeah, it was nice. It was
kids
nice.
Had fun. They were running around pretty good. I don't know how you do it, man. I mean,
it's busy.
That's a wild scene.
It's busy.
That is a wild scene. I actually asked what you were doing on the Saturday. I ended up going out with Big Baldy to that high school football game.
How did it turn out?
Well, okay, Ainley was the favorite by far, and they lost 23-20 in overtime to Ernest Manning out of Calgary.
Yeah.
So it was a JP Bowl, perfect weather for third week in November for a football game in high school, and they got the Alberta Bowl this weekend.
Was it a fairly good turnout?
I think it was decent. Well, yeah. A lot of people came from Calgary, and then Ainley has its supporters. I ended up talking to Rio Wells for quite a bit.
Cool.
Yeah, and Rio was there. His son plays for Ainley.
Oh, okay.
Had a pick. He's a DB, just like Rio was. And there was a couple, and even Rio said, and there was I think later in the half, Tyler Greenslade, they gambled on third down. They should have kicked a field goal. And there's 3 points right there. So
it's creeping into the high school game too, eh?
Yeah,
the gambling.
And Ainley's a good team. I mean, Ernest Manning, they got a quarterback. I forget his name now. He was pretty good. They got some players in Ernest Manning, number 18, I never had a program, so I'm just going by numbers.
No, you're going by the number. You can tell who's popping.
Yeah,
who
this
stands
guy
out.
he was all over the map, playing both sides.
Nice, man. It's cool to go to those high school amateur events. Hey,
Oh yeah,
it's a throwback.
Yeah.
Such a throwback. Good for the boys that the weather was as good as
I
it
think
was.
it's going to get a little chillier here. So for the finals this weekend, but the Oilers win Saturday night. Eddie, they're home to Dallas tomorrow. Mikko Rantanen will not play because he's suspended. So that's good news for the Oilers. But they beat Florida 6-3, and they close out that road trip 3-3-1.
Played well the last two games. Even the Tampa game.
More jump.
Yeah.
Like the passion, the urgency, all that stuff. Like, we talked about it for many games on this trip and even over the course of the season, right?
Yeah, and just the willingness, right? The willingness to defend each other, support each other, stand up for each other.
They bring up Clattenburg.
I was going to ask you,
Bako.
I mean, he only played 547, but what'd you think?
Well, that's his role. Like, he's never going to be in the 12, 13, 14-minute range here, especially now. Maybe down the road, but he's got lots to learn.
Well, you learn and earn.
Oh, but you think about where he came from, and I mean, he's a late round draft pick. I mean,
Is he 19?
He's just 20. Yeah,
He's just 20.
Yeah,
man, it's good for him. Did you see his family? Catch his family with
they
Gino?
were fired up.
Yeah, man, that's so cool. I really like how a professional broadcast is willing to put the family members like that and just throw anybody kind of on camera. And when I say throw anybody, of course, I don't mean that loosely, but someone who's not trained or anything, I love that because you get to see the rawness, especially of parents and family members.
Yeah. And he's there to mix it up. He's there to be a disturber, and he's there to get the other team thinking about something else. And
at least think about it.
That's the whole thing.
Right? There's a threat there.
I mean, he's always been that type. He's never been a guy that scored goals, in the juniors or wherever. I think his high total was in Flint last year's 16 goals. I'm just looking at it right now. So he was that's not, he had 108 PIMs, 115 his first year in Sioux. So
he had me excited all preseason. Every time, every game.
Because you think something could happen.
Well, in every game, you said all you can do is just get the attention at the end of the game. Say, oh, did you see number so-and-so? Yeah. And he did that every game. We spoke about him because he was doing something.
833-401-1440. Fire us off a text. What do you think of the game on Saturday night? I look forward to tomorrow with the Oilers. Man, yesterday in the NHL, there was just shutout city. There were 4 technically shutouts because they had a double shutout. When you go to a shootout after overtime, that's classified as a double shutout. And that was the Islanders and Seattle game, Riddick and Decord. So
crazy.
Someone's getting, you don't get a goal to your goals against average, but you're getting a loss because you're losing in the shootout. So Jesper Wallstead, 3rd shutout in 4 starts for the Wild. Abs shutout Chicago 1-0. Scott Wedgwood. His numbers are unreal this year. Scott Wedgwood
really well.
I mean, Colorado, 1 regulation loss in the first 2 months of the year.
Yeah, it's insane. They're playing at such a clip, but they've been doing this. That's why watching the Oilers, KK is frustrated because Colorado has been expected to be good for many years now, and they live up to it all the time. There's no lulls for this team. Sure, if you're within the market, maybe there's some small dips, but boy, they play to a standard. And you would think that the back-to-back Stanley Cup finalists would play to a standard night in and out, but they don't.
That's the whole thing, right? You want to have the consistency, and for the most part, that consistency hasn't been a part of the Oilers' game here after 24 games. So I still think, Eddie, just the way things are going when you look across the league, and I used that phrase last week about treading water, and that's where the team really is. And I mean, there's a dozen teams like this. So if you can just tread water right now, and now you're at the point where you look at your schedule and it's I mean, you're not going on 7-game road trips. You're not going on 5-game road trips. You got one more longer road trip that it's the Canadian teams, like Toronto and Montreal, Ottawa. And then that's it,
Along that line too, KK, this is a very unique year. You need to tread water and stay somewhat relevant because I think that the Olympics is going to play a big factor in the second half of the season. A big factor.
Well, with so many guys that are And I mean, think about Colorado. Like, think about all the guys off Colorado that'll be going, and all the good teams have the good players.
That's just it.
So there's going to be players from there. And then I think I think the Russian players you think about how many Russian players that would be going, but aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about the fact that that's going to be a big plus for all those teams that have Russian
Without
players,
a question. And if you think Four Nations took a bite out of the players physically last year, the Olympics is going to be bigger.
This will be times 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to call it, because for one, you're going overseas. That's a day there, day back travel where your body's all way out of whack. So let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne on a Monday morning. Duke, did you have Tropicana Orangeman hockey last night?
I did, Kev. Yeah.
Late game?
No, 6:15. The standard Sunday slot for us. I got pressed into goaltending action after our regular goalie woke up under the weather with the flu.
The flu.
So my my Sunday preparation took a whole different look, knowing that I had to get the body and the mind right to tend the net.
Yeah. And how many goals did you let in?
4. We won.
Did you battle?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Far from my best, which is disappointing because my 2 times out last week with Walker on Tuesday and then Saturday when he kind of asked me to come last minute down to Argyle, I played really well. Probably some of the best I've played in the net in many years. But, couldn't carry that over into Sunday. Maybe a little fatigue setting in, perhaps.
After Critters on Thursday.
Well, I had 5 ice times last week, Sunday to Sunday. From Tropics to Nate to Critters to Saturday morning to then Sunday night again. And 3 of them in the net. Listen, I'm not an old man, but I got some old knees.
Your hips are
one of them already without an ACL in it currently.
Come on now.
But hey, win's a win. I ain't gonna apologize for a win. The Tropics remain red hot.
Absolutely, never.
I got 4 skates this week, and I'm thinking about today. I'm going, well, I don't know if I should go today because just go 3.
It's good sweats though, man.
I know it is, but 4 in a week is a lot.
It's good exercise though. What else are you gonna do? You got to get your exercise. It's not like you're lifting.
Come on,
I'm
man.
just playing.
Come on,
man. I say go for the skate. You don't gotta bust the balls every time.
Well, no,
just get a sweat.
No,
you can't help yourself, eh?
No.
Once you're out there, you can't help it.
And you never mind how you talk about commitment. You're the guy that bailed on the Cowboys comeback.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Yeah, I turned it off, man. I was done. I checked out. I went to the kids what I have to deal with. I had to go and do that.
So they were down 21 points to the Eagles, come back, and you could feel, I was watching the game with Old Man Baker, and you could feel that momentum. They were just starting to come, and Philly didn't have an answer for them. And
I like seeing Philly lose. Yeah, just with all the garbage and that AJ Brown comment going into the game last week when they were talking about his play, and then he's like, "Oh, I guess Saquon's play is down too." Like, what, man?
Just play the game.
Yeah, I like seeing them lose, man.
Game.
Get what you deserve.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just play the game. Detroit, I mean, the Lions, they lost that game to the New York Giants. And I'm just looking at
the Giants were up, man.
They were up. And Giants fired their defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen.
They did?
Yeah.
This morning that just dropped?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Giants have blown 5 fourth-quarter leads of 10 or more points this season.
Oh, man.
Tied for the most in single season in NFL history. And they fired defensive
4 wins right there.
Oh, yeah.
4 wins.
You could be in the hunt here.
It's pretty wild.
Anyway, so they were there. I mean, they were right there. And
can't give a team like Detroit that many opportunities because eventually they'll take you out.
Yeah.
My Vikings, not even a game. We can gloss over that one.
It's 27-17 with 11 minutes left yesterday. The Giants leading. They led with 3:58 against the Bears with a 20-10 lead with 4 minutes left. The Saints.
What if I
8 minutes?
What if I went from being a Vikings fan to a Bears fan? Just kidding.
Why wouldn't you?
Just kidding. But the Bears, man, I like what Ben Johnson's doing.
Well, they finally beat a team with a winning record, correct?
Yeah. But Ben, I just like him as a coach because he's no nonsense, man. He's clearly whipped that team into shape because the roster hasn't been changed drastically. But look what they're doing, man.
Jahmyr Gibbs was lights out, had 250 yards.
Yeah, he was big.
From scrimmage, he was the difference.
How many TDs did he have?
Three big ones. He was
Thanks, dude.
51 fantasy points.
Jeez. Do you have him?
No.
Any of you boys in the room have him?
Yeah, Duke's got all the guys.
In my super flex league, I have him. In that one, I'm going to have the second highest point total this week, lose my matchup naturally, even with Gibbs in my lineup. Jordan Addison, 0 burger. Thanks a lot, Eddie. The Vikings stink. JJ McCarthy is terrible.
Man,
he's bad. He's really bad.
Tough.
You're going to be in big trouble, Eddie.
The year's done, obviously, but is the future done with him? I don't know.
They should get Kirk Cousins back. He looked good yesterday.
Trade for Shadur.
I was going to ask
trade for Jameis.
What do you think about Shadur? Jameis catching TDs out there.
I
love Jameis.
Jameis was a monster yesterday. And then he still gave us some actual Jameis Winston moments with some interceptions just right to linebackers like the old Jameis.
Typical.
Coming up on the big program, our usual Monday morning leadoff man, Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day, 12 to 2, the lowdown with the low tide. Josh Lewenberg, man, oh man, covers the Toronto Raptors for TSN. The Raptors are just unbelievably hot right now. Winners of 7 straight. They're 12-5. They are 2.5 back of Detroit in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons have rattled off 12 straight wins. But the Raptors are running hot right now. We'll talk with Josh about that in the 8 o'clock hour. Also coming up at 9 o'clock, Jared Bell, USA Today, covers the NFL. We've got Kenzie Lalonde from TSN. PWHL got underway this weekend. Then Sean McIndoe from The Athletic covers the NHL. That'll be in the 10 o'clock hour. When we come back, Alan Mitchell, the lowdown with Low Tide. That's coming up straight after the break. It's Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, Eddie Steele on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep!
What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Sports 1440 is proud to support the Camrose Kinsman Radio Auction. Tune in Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight, live from the Bailey Theater on our sister station, New Country 98.1. All proceeds go to the Kinsman Club of Camrose to serve the community's greatest needs. For more, visit sports1440.ca.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE. your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:20 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you on a Monday morning, and time now for On the Tide. Mark Spector is out of commission for this next week, so On the Mark is On the Tide today on a Monday morning, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet, Buick GMC. Hey, we got winter tires, and we got tires at cost. You betcha, tires at cost, but don't believe me. Check them out for yourself at northgategm.com as we welcome in Ellen Mitchell from the Lowdown with Low Tide. Good morning, Tide. You're with Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 to lead things off on a Monday morning.
Well, no problem at all. I'm not Latvian, but I will do my best to fill in for Spec.
KK, I gotta say, you missed such an opportunity there.
What?
On the Tide, man. Come on.
Well, what did you want?
You should have said it's time to ride the tide.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You know, like, did you think about this all morning or what?
No, man, but
Ride the tide.
As you said, on the tide. I thought, no, there's got to be better than that.
Come on now.
We're riding the tide this morning.
We're riding the tide.
The sad thing is Tide is such a well-known product, either laundry detergent or, as it comes in and goes out every day.
That's right.
So, but having said that, Karius is pretty quick. So, we'll give him that one.
Okay.
I
it's a pass.
You know what, Tide? We're just watching the Montana's Canadian curling trials, and I was thinking, did a young Low Tide in the Maidstone curling rink ever slide down the long and narrow back in the day?
Oh, yeah, but I was silly bad. Like, you got to understand, I was a city kid. All these farm kids lifting hay bales and throwing them, 17 feet high onto the 1 or 2 ton truck. They had a big advantage, right? So I curled, but I sucked, And then I found out about bonspieling, which is drinking during curling, and I got heavily into that.
Well, then remember the old ashtrays on the the post there.
I can still, honest to God, when I'm driving by or walking by a restaurant or whatever, and I smell like bacon and maybe some greasy fries or whatever, it makes me think of the little cafe they had in the curling rink in Maidstone, because there's nothing like it. It's such an authentic prairie kind of experience, going in and having some hash browns and toast and bacon and God knows what else.
Even the like the ashtrays at the old curling rinks, Tide. I mean, they weren't really ashtrays; they were sardine tins.
Yeah.
And
they were. And then sometimes you'd get somebody who would nail them to the table.
Yes. Like, what are you going to steal them?
Oh man, that's funny.
I mean, they're like 2 cents each, right?
Yeah. I mean, unreal. Alan Mitchell with us on Sports 1440. Oilers win on Saturday night, tied 6-3 to go 3-3-1 on the 7-game road trip home to Dallas tomorrow. Mikko Rantanen's not going to play in that one, but what did you think of this, the finale to this road trip, Tide?
I thought they played well. They played inspired hockey. You want to, see that again. But I do think that they're even before then, there are signs they're waking up and starting to join the battle. Zach Hyman being back, I think, is a big difference maker. He hasn't scored yet, but he drags this team into the game with his physicality and his determination. I don't know how you can go on the ice and play like you're in a dream when Hyman is doing all that work. And I do think that he drives a lot of the spirit of this team. He's a leader in that way. And I also think that they're coming around on the defensive side of the puck. I thought Skinner played well, which, goaltending inconsistency is just just look around the league. It's everywhere but Minnesota and Colorado. And so I think they played well. The thing that Chris Knobloch has been able to do since he started coaching the Oilers is to find a style of game that's repeatable and does win hockey games. And maybe he's finding that. Maybe this is the incarnation of the Oilers that's going to go on a 7-game winning streak.
Now, Ty, overall, 3-3-1 on this road trip. I guess that would be a success. You look to go 500 or above, which they did on this road trip. And there has been, like you said, some sloppy play, some discouraging play, but there are signs now that they are waking up. And despite some of this down play that they've had, even on the road trip, a couple of players that I've kind of noticed and have seen really play their role, Matt Savoy and Vasily Podkolzin. And this isn't just because they scored over the weekend. You can see Savoy, he's been really coming in. Podkolzin has just been a steady Eddie, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And the Oilers have kind of switched up their style a little bit. They're using the stretch pass quite a bit to get into the zone, and they need guys who are quick and able to get to the puck. Savoy isn't a big man, but he's very much determined to get to the puck. And Podkolzin is a big man, and he can punish players. Podkolzin has been like, I just feel like he might. I'm not saying he's going to break out and score 25, but I think he could score 15 and be even more of a factor offensively. He's really coming on, and I think I think number 10 overall. There's talent there, and I think he's got another gear, and he might be showing it. And along with Roslovic, who every time I turn around, people are ripping Stan Bowman for his free agent signings. Well, Roslovic is a free agent signing, and he looks like the best free agent signing among forwards since Hyman. So I'm liking their wingers when they use Podkolzin and Hyman and Roslovic and Savoy, maybe in the top 4 with Draisaitl and McDavid. They might have something there, and then you got to wait till Nuge gets back to figure out the third line.
Alan Mitchell with us in Sports 1440. We have to talk about the defense pairing of Bouchard and Ekholm on the weekend. I mean, man, they hit the score sheet, lit it up pretty well right across the board. Both guys +5, 3 points apiece. So I think maybe you could say that these two guys are rounding into form a little bit more than what we saw at the start.
Yeah, I know I'm going to say a couple of words that everybody loves. I'm going to say that the analytics indicated, due to expected goals, that this was going to happen. They were going to regress. But I'll also say that Bouchard has been, although he's still making some miscues and is slow to recognize plays, he's been making a lot of really good decisions with the puck, and that's helped the play as well. But they're playing just so much better as a unit. The Nurse goal the other night, Bouchard, I think, made a great pass, but Savoy, who didn't get an assist, he made a great play on that. I just think that they're putting Savoy up there. Podkolzin's got a little more skill. Hyman's coming along. When Nuge gets back, this is going to resemble the team that Stan Bowman envisioned, and I suspect it's going to be really good. But Ekholm, Bouchard have to play at this level, and good that they're getting results.
Now, gentlemen, let's not bury the lead here. Stu Skinner with a .921, stopping 35 of 38. Now that's back-to-back games. They've gotten real quality goaltending out of their goalies against quality opponents, fellas.
Well, I agree, but I think the die is cast. I think the Oilers will make a move for a goalie, and I don't know when, and I don't know if it's going to be Pickard out and the new goalie is a co-starter, or whether they go bigger. But I think Skinner's played very well, and I am a pro Skinner guy. But my own belief is that they won't go into the playoffs with the same tandem they've had for the last couple of years. They'll probably make a move. But I was very pleased for Skinner, and he was that's the toughest rink for him to play in, and he played very well.
You were talking about goaltenders. You mentioned Jesper Wallstedt. There was 4 shutouts yesterday, tied a double shutout in one of the games. Wallsted's got 3 out of 4 games where he's pitched a shutout. Scott Wedgwood in Colorado doesn't even get mentioned when it comes to the Canadian Olympic team. Do you think he should be? Do you think he should be?
He should. Absolutely. Why they chose the goalies that you're ripping off all these names and you have no damn clue. And we all know that goaltenders are like, they're streaky. They are. Sometimes it has to do with the team in front of them. But I mean, pick the three guys who are the hottest and go with them. I like the goaltending decisions here. I think should have been like name your three goalies on Halloween night, for crying out loud, or even later. I mean, you pick them. I know Bennington had to go, but the rest, I don't like. I don't know, man. I think choosing your goalie a year out is like, I don't know. It's like you planting your garden today, Karius.
Well, I got that winter garlic in already.
A couple of years ago, Mr. Draft King tied. Weren't the Oilers looking at drafting Wallstead?
They moved down. They never did. Right? They moved down.
They
right?
never. The word I got was that they liked Sebastian Cossa better, the Edmonton Oil Kings goaltender, and they just chose to trade down because they liked other players more. They ended up with Xavier Bourgault. But my understanding is, the Oilers weren't looking at Jasper Wallstedt. They didn't feel like he was the right guy there. Now you look at it now and you're like, oh my God. But good on the Minnesota Wild. That's what scouting can do for you.
Well, in that draft, did they not move down? And was that the Bourgault draft, though?
Yeah, it was. They moved down from like 15 to 21 or whatever. Minnesota drafted Wallstedt, and then they picked up Xavier Bourgault.
Yeah, and Cossa went 15th to Detroit. Yeah. Wallstedt went 20th to Minnesota. So
yeah,
and then Xavier Bourgault.
I think they would have, honestly, I think they would have drafted Cossa. I don't know that, but reading the tea leaves, I think they would have drafted Cossa had he been there, but they traded down because Minnesota was willing to make a deal.
Well, never mind that tie too. I mean, the player that they took after Bourgault was Wyatt Johnston out of Dallas.
Yeah.
But he was hurt. He was hurt a lot of the time there too.
Yeah, he didn't play that year. Now, Oilers fans are always after the Oilers scouting and ripping them. But I'll tell you what, on Saturday night, fifth round draft pick who's 20 years old played for the Oilers, and Connor Clattenburg. So it's like when people rip on the Bowman for signing free agents and overlooking Roslovic in order to hammer them on Mangiapane. We need to see this play out. The Mangiapane's an NHL player. I think Roslovic was a hell of a signing, and they probably will sign him longer term. But in the case of Wallstedt, there was a lot of people at the time saying the Oilers should draft him, and they did not. So those folks have every right to bitch and moan. And as you know, in today's world, that means that those people will bitch and moan.
Hey, I'm all for Stan signing anybody long term to good contracts. Just don't give them these no moves.
Oh, well, yeah. 36% of NHL players are on no moves. Did you know that?
36?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 150% of your body heat goes straight under the top of your head if you're not wearing a balaclava.
Man, I'm so used to a different style of contract because there ain't no moves in football. That's for sure.
Well, sure. You play week to week. Like that's why like to me the football player is like anybody who questions the gumption of a football player. You're out there. I mean, it's week 6 and you're playing to keep your damn job, like that's how it works.
Alan Mitchell with us on Sports 1440. Ty, did you know that Eddie turned his TV off when it was 21-0 Eagles?
I did.
Well, I've been watching the Eagles all year, and honestly, I know they've got a great record, but they haven't played well. And I will tell you, of all the teams to lose to in that way, I would not choose the Dallas Cowboys. But it gives Jerry Jones some happiness, and maybe he'll go do something stupid at the draft next year because of it. So we always hope. But good for the Cowboys. I mean, they're having a weird year, but that was a big win for them. And as for the Eagles, I know they won the Super Bowl, but there's a certain arrogance about that team where they refuse to adjust. And they've got the quarterback, they've got 2 great wideouts, they've got the running game. I like the defense. What's wrong? I think it's play, and I think that they are sort of they're vanilla. on offense, and they shouldn't be. They Hurts. Did you see that run Hurts made for the touchdown? My God, he's like a running back once he gets going. I love that football player.
What do you think about all the infighting there, though, Ty?
They're fragile, man.
Brown, this and that.
You got the wide out bitching and moaning about not getting any passes. Lane Johnson's out. That hurts. But I don't know why it is with the Eagles, but the loudest mouths end up on the Eagles in the receiving room. I swear to God. And you know, I really like the Eagles. I really do. I'm not a fan of their head coach, but I really like the Eagles, and I love Howie Roseman. But I don't know that he can fix this. This seems to me like a team that's going to win the division, get a bye, and lose their first playoff game. That's how I feel about the Eagles.
Well, here's hoping.
Is there a certain someone coming on the lowdown today, Tide?
You know, Greg's is on.
Bet. Yeah, Jason Greger's on at 120, so I know that you'll be happy to know that. I know you are always worried. I don't know why. He was always there. And we'll have Rachel Krychak as well joining us at 12:40 today. And, of course, Declan Nation's Mama MMA, where Declan either talks about the big MMA event of the weekend or he just makes a bunch of stuff up. And it's not like I know, you know. So we look forward to that. We're going to have a fun time and looking forward to the Dallas game tomorrow.
Good stuff, Tide. Thanks for, as always, leading things off on a Monday morning. Have a great show today.
All right, you kids out there, wear your balaclavas. Okay, bye-bye.
That's Alan Mitchell. The Lowdown with Low Tide, 12 to 2 right here. It's daily on Sports 1440. That was not on the mark. What do you want to call it? You want to?
We were just riding the tide.
Riding the tide? How about this one from our buddy Matt and Leduc? Bringing in Al Mitchell to tide us over until Speck is back.
Ooh, there we go.
That's something you might be
it's a
interested
good one,
in.
Matt.
On the tide, riding the tide. Brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. If you say so, Eddie. Powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. Check them out, NorthgateGM.com. I don't know. That was weak at best, I thought.
At least I came up with something.
On the tide,
weak
man.
at best.
On the tide, baby.
Yeah.
On the tide.
You're so original.
When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. I'll let you stew in this one. MTR says trade Jefferson to a real offense in the offseason. You can have Macaroni Jones. There you go.
MTR.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Peanut gallery.
When we come back, we'll get to more of your texts. 833-401-1440. It's a Kevin Karius show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Eddie, the Real Deal Steele on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Sports Select. And, of course, we're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for the chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
You're at home, in the car, or on the move. You're never more than a tap away from Sports 1440. Download the radio player or iHeart app today so you can get all access anytime to Edmonton's only sports radio station, Sports 1440.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old mom managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "where'd I put my phone" moment.
Sometimes it's just best to see the professionals. For example, surgery.
But the YouTube tutorial made it look easy.
Is that your appendix?
I think so.
Wow. Like I said, it's best to see the professionals. And when you need help choosing the right metal for your next project, cut to your precise measurements, you've got to see the pros at Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Look at the wobble.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 742 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you, along with Eddie Steele. The Kevin Karius Show is brought to you by our title sponsor, Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We've got the Monday night football game. Bet on the original at sportselect.com, 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please pay responsibly. I don't even know what our picks were, Duke, to be honest with you. I can't even remember.
You got swept, didn't you?
No, I think there was a push even there and there.
Kevin got one push, and I offered him. I tried to give him Bengals +7, but then he's like, "No, I'll take +6."
And it was +6. Yeah.
I'll say this, Kev. By Saturday morning when we were doing the Triple S, it was 5.5.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too.
So consider yourself lucky.
Oh, Kevin.
Really lucky.
Sorry.
Really lucky.
Doug texts in 833-401-1440. Morning, Kevin and Eddie. Good to see the Oilers pull off a win in Florida, the last of a 7-game roadie. Let's call a spade a shovel. Bobrovsky, and he's got it written out, Bobrovsky, was brutal. That was Skinner letting in those goals. Your text line would be full of Stu haters. Would it ever?
Oh,
Could you
yes.
imagine
Holy
those 2
smokes.
goals? Early and from the side, another one from the side.
Even the best.
I wasn't sure if he was going to get the hook.
Likewise.
I wasn't sure, only because, I mean, it's your guy, and maybe a timeout is better served. I don't know.
You can feel when a guy just doesn't have it, right? Sometimes it's not even worth trying to battle through. Like, you just don't got it tonight.
Rob texts in his rant and then having a hearing for his 2 hits. Okay, well, how this works for Mikko Rantanen, because he received a second game misconduct. Basically, because he got one for the Romanov hit and then another one here for the Matt Coronado hit. So those are 2 game misconducts. You're automatically suspended for 1 game. That's the rules.
Okay.
So that's exactly what happens.
I don't think there'll be a hearing.
Well, I haven't found anything about a hearing yet. Yeah. Which
typically you would have by now. after this many days?
You would think, well, it was Saturday night. So anyway, it just from the Department of Player Safety says he's been automatically suspended for one game under Rule 23.6. In regular season league games, any player who incurs a total of 2 game misconduct penalties before playing in 41 consecutive regular season games will be suspended automatically for the next league game of his team. And
I think that'll be it.
That is Tuesday. Coronado up on the dasher boards. That was
Which one was worse to you out of the two?
I'll be honest. First of all, I was surprised that he didn't get anything for the first one. And they're talking about Mayfield, the other defenseman in there, tangled up.
That's what I'm thinking. Optically, the first one is ugly.
Well, Romanov's out for the year.
Is he?
He's out 5 months, whatever that. So
optically, it was ugly. But he was tangled. Renton's skates were tangled. There was traffic there.
But he's still pushing.
The second one, though, you full on like a heat-seeking missile from 10 yards away. No need to make that hit.
Well, he's on the watch list now.
He's not that type of player either, which is kind of weird.
Never had problems before. But he's on the watch
list. Who was it? Wallman who smoked him last year?
Twice.
Yeah.
Once behind the net, and then once kind of near the blue line.
Smoked him.
Wallman's a big, thick dude, man.
Yeah. Is he probably the most jacked Oiler? Like, you've been down and around there. Who would be like the most dieseled up Oiler? We know Nurse was big, but he's long and lanky as well.
It would have been Kane. Kane was pretty.
But he's gone. Who's now?
Yeah, it could be Wallman, as far as pipes go.
Yeah.
He's got the Eddie Steele pipes.
He doesn't got tickets to the gun show. Get out of here.
Come on now.
He ain't got his tickets. He's not certified.
He
went to Cabela's and got that thing off the shelf.
This is a hockey player, man.
I'm playing.
I know.
I'm playing.
Anything in NFL you want to discuss? Like we talked about the Detroit.
Well,
game,
hey, look at Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Just to flip flop. All of a sudden, Baltimore is first in that division, and there was no panic there. Even 3-4 weeks ago, people were predicting that Baltimore would overtake Pittsburgh, and it's just a matter of time.
Well, they've won 5 in a row. So they were 1-5. Now they're 6-5. Pittsburgh 6-5 as well.
How about Shedeur?
Yeah, hey, I don't wish ill will to him. I want to see him succeed.
He is very arrogant, though.
How? But
in anything he does media-wise,
I thought he's sort of kind of tamed it down here a little bit.
Yeah, even how many rookie quarterbacks, 5th-round draft picks after their first start? Usually, you're pretty thankful and just appreciative to be there. Here he is. He's like, man, this is after 1 week of practice, man. They were pulling the old Uno reverse Allen Iverson. Imagine if I had more practice, what I could do. This is 1 week. You don't hear that normally. I can see how it rubs people the wrong way. And I'm a Shedeur fan. Yeah. I like it, but sometimes just shut up, man.
All of the sudden, the AFC South division is in question. I think you could probably go 2 weeks ago, everyone would have said that the Colts are going to run away with the division. Not so fast. Jacksonville's a game back. The Texans have won 3 in a row. Duke's obviously happy about that. And they're just 2 games back as well. And we talked about the Colts schedule.
Jacksonville has had a really sneaky good season under new head coach Liam Cohen. They really have. Like when you're this close to reaching 10 wins, that's a good season in my books.
I agree. Also, that was the Indy game. You talk about comebacks, and that was if KC doesn't win that game, they're done. But they win.
They do it.
Yeah. What do you think of they're 6-5 right now. The division.
They're always going to be there. You can never count them out. The pedigree, they know how to do it. Even just to get into a wild card spot.
And then this weekend's American Thanksgiving. So
who we got here? I haven't even looked at who's the Thanksgiving Day games.
Well, there's 3 games. Detroit always leads things off.
Of course, it'll be a Detroit game.
Yeah, Detroit and Green Bay.
Okay.
Play. Kansas City takes on the Cowboys, and the nightcap game. What we thought would maybe be for the division lead heading into the last third of the season, but not the case. Cincinnati is in Baltimore.
In that case, he will be in Dallas.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, Detroit and Dallas.
That is going to be huge, that game. That is going to be a fun game.
Cowboys are frisky.
Yeah, man. At home, too. They're very good at home. I saw a crazy stat that I was not aware of, but Dak Prescott, 18 straight wins at home against division rivals.
That's why
18 straight.
Was there someone that took them as the dog of the week last week? Oh yeah, that's
Well, my dog of the week covered too.
No, but come on, Duke. Little credit here.
Yeah, it was a good pick. I liked it. But were you just saying that to give it to Triple C in a truck?
Not really.
Or did you actually?
No. I mean, I don't Triple C in a truck. I don't have any qualm with him. MTR, yeah.
This
I
MTR
think
guy,
you're
though.
gonna love. Well,
MTR
maybe
can come
not.
see us.
I guess I'm guessing in that case you'll probably be out on question number 4 during in or out today. Then
I
with
haven't seen it
your
yet.
beef. Yeah, I know. I haven't sent it, but
So is it on?
it's about the Monday nighter.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
Who picks tonight? You or me?
Mine. It's my
Oh,
pick.
okay. Well, you're going to take San Fran then.
Maybe.
I'm in big trouble in fantasy, Duke, right now. Baker Mayfield.
Oh, you're done. Who's next up for you?
I don't have a guy.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll be going to the waiver wire.
That is terrible management. Terrible management. You shouldn't even have a team.
I will be hoping that this MRI on Baker's left shoulder is okay. But I'll be honest, waiver wire's a little thin too. Bryce Young, maybe.
Kevin, you did it to yourself.
I know. Well, what am I supposed to do? There was nothing
What
there.
place are you even in the league?
I'm 7-5. I'm going to make the playoffs. I'm
What,
fine.
what place are you
Third.
in? You're
In the
third.
division.
In-
I was number 1 or 2 in the power ranking.
the self-proclaimed power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Man, things happen fast in the NFL, though. Like just a few weeks back, Tampa was, a front runner, one of the best in the NFC.
Baker's MVP.
Yeah, and then boom.
Now nothing.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast things happen. Even Indy, we'll see if they can stay up there, if they're going to come back down to earth a little bit. I think they have a pretty favorable schedule,
Well,
though.
again, look at this. If somehow the Panthers can win tonight, and they have a tough task, this is not going to be easy. They lead the division.
Wow.
And you can, I mean, if you asked anyone 3 weeks ago, it was like Tampa had clinched already.
I feel good about the Panthers beating the Niners tonight, actually. I
don't know
really
if they
do.
can beat them. They might
I
not.
think they can hang, man.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that to spite MTR either.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense has been productive lately, and just the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So many injuries for the Niners. We'll see.
They're 6-5, and they have a point differential of minus 42. Well, the Buccaneers, their point differential is minus 25.
Who's our MVP frontrunners? Is Matt Stafford? He's got to be up
is
there.
hands down. Right
What is
now.
he? 39 years
Yeah,
old. I think?
hands down right now.
It's impressive.
I don't see anyone else that is. Well, I mean, first of all, it's always a quarterback, right? I mean,
Of course.
it's
I mean,
twice it's been-
Taylor would be in the mix, but yeah.
AP won it a few years back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Who else strikes you as an MVP candidate? I mean, another guy that's getting some love is Drake May.
I'll tell you one guy who this is a sneaky, and obviously, I say this tongue in cheek, but Myles Garrett has 18 sacks with, I think, 6 games left. The NFL sack record is 22 and a half. He has 18.
He's on
Man,
pace
he's
for
on pace.
25.
Yeah, he's going to go over 25, I say. He's collecting them in bunches right now.
Daryl Chomsker's just said JSN.
He's having a good season.
He's leading the league in receiving yards with over 1,300.
With this much runway left in the season and the way they're playing, if he rallies off some big number games, don't be surprised if Lamar Jackson's in the mix at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, just because they're winning games, they're on a roll, and you know how that offense can get going.
Yeah. Russ Chiswick says that Sanders postgame interview was terrible. That's when you're talking about, Eddie.
That was. Just, take a different approach. You don't always have to be arrogant and cocky.
Yeah. Slurpee, Sean, Jameer Gibbs. I mean, after 250 yards, whatever it was yesterday, I think 246, 3 tutties. I mean, he might have saved their season yesterday. But I see JSN too. I mean, he's the number 1 receiver right now.
Absolutely. Yep. He's having a heck of a season. Big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going to go to Stafford. He is in such control. When you watch him, it's really cool to see the control he has.
Top of the hour again. Mark Spector is in Portugal. Could you imagine what Spec would be doing right now?
What do you think he's doing?
Oh, well.
Might be. It's morning time.
He's doing whatever Shelka's telling him to do.
He might get up and go for a coffee and walk around.
No, he's doing whatever Shelka tells him to do. Mark, go get
Mark,
me
Mark,
the paper.
go get me a coffee.
Give me the paper and I want a bagel and a coffee. Come on, Spec.
Oh, okay. You got it, pal.
Oh, poor Spec. So anyway, we've got Josh Lewenberg from TSN covers the Toronto Raptors. We'll check in with some basketball at 8:20. Jared Bell from the USA Today. We'll zip around the NFL and chit-chat with Jarrett at the 9 o'clock time slot. Kenzie Lalonde at 9:40. Sean McIndoe from The Athletic coming up at 10:20. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io. Transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Half dozen games around the NHL yesterday. Buffalo beating Carolina 4-1. Another shutout for Jesper Wallstedt. The Wild blank Winnipeg 3-0 for their fifth straight win. Islanders get past Seattle 1-0 in a shootout. San Jose top Boston 3-1. Colorado shutout Chicago 1-0 for their ninth consecutive win. And the Flames make it 3 in a row, 5-2 victory over the Canucks. PWHL's opening weekend wrapped up yesterday with Boston beating Montreal 2-0. And at the junior level in the BCHL, Spruce Grove dropped a close one 4-3 in OT to Blackfalds. And in the AJ, Drayton Valley falling to Canmore 5-1. Week 12's NFL Sunday was a wild one. The Bears win their fourth in a row, 31-28 over Pittsburgh. KC gets a big win at home over the Colts in overtime, 23-20. Shadur Sanders winning his first career start. Browns top Vegas 24-10. Cowboys scoring 24 unanswered to come back against the Eagles 24-21 the final. And a stinker on Sunday Night Football. Rams beat the Bucs 34-7, and Baker Mayfield, leaving the game with a shoulder injury, did not return. Some firings to report on a Monday morning. Raiders letting go OC Chip Kelly, just 11 games into his tenure as the highest paid coordinator in league's history. And the Giants reportedly letting go defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. New York blowing 5 fourth-quarter leads this season. On the hardwood, 8 games total yesterday, including the Raptors grabbing their 7th win in a row, 119-109 over Brooklyn. And finally, Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax. Last night's draw 5 saw Carrie Anderson remain undefeated, and Rachel Homan's rink losing to Alberta's Kayla Skrlik, Homan's first loss to a Canadian team since October of last year. Draw 6 currently underway. Gushu, Epping, Dunstone, Clater, Cooey, McDonald, and Jacobs McEwen all on the sheet. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Josh Lewenberg from TSN covering the Toronto Raptors, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter. For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a newer used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Born from work, built for play. Carhartt's all-new Super Ducks tech jackets are built for hard-working people who can't sacrifice mobility for durability. This ultra-tough gear fights off wind, snow, and cold, while full-swing technology flexes with every move and still packs 3M insulation for maximum warmth. Try your new Carhartt Super Ducks at JobSite Workwear. 3 locations in Edmonton and online at jobsiteworkwear.ca.
JobSite Workwear, tough gear for tough jobs.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you're treating like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building, we're elevating, we're moving up. New space, new contracts.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 801 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, Eddie Steele with you on a Monday morning. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. And again, weather just absolutely superb to do some stuff outside. And here we are. We're, well, a week until December and Christmas. Like, man, it's a month away from Christmas Eve, for Pete's sake. A month away from Christmas. And you know, Eddie, who the last place team in the Eastern Conference of the NHL standings?
Without even looking, without looking, KK, because I was just firing off an email.
Okay.
Let me just throw out the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto Maple Leafs are dead last. Yes, they are a win or two away from, because that's how
of
tight
course, it's so jumbled.
But right now, the Philadelphia Flyers are in a playoff spot. They're the number 2 wildcard team. The New York Islanders having a really good start to the year. They're second in the Met. Boston's in there. Do you know who's leading the Atlantic? And it's Detroit, Eddie. And you remember at the beginning of the year, and the Red Wings lost. It was their first game of the year. And
Toddy, he gave it to him.
He said, "What are we doing here? Like, come on now." And basically, he gave his team a little bit of a verbal tongue lashing to the public, because it was in a news conference, and they've turned it around since then. Having said that, they are, I don't know if some people are bigger on goal differential or not. They're -4. So, they've won the tight games and they've lost the other ones.
It's all about wins and losses.
I know it is.
You can get into those nitty-gritty stats, but if you're winning, sure, things could even out. But right now, in the here and now, I see 13-8-1. That's what I see. I see 27 points. That is what it is. It's tough to argue that.
Oilers right now with a record of 10-9-5. They've got 25 points. Everyone has like 24 or 25 if you're right around the cut line in the Western Conference. The Anaheim Ducks, Duke's Ducks, leading the Pacific, and Seattle second.
Intense.
I mean, it's everything's upside down, man.
So when it comes, and I'm glad that you brought up Detroit and Todd McClellan and how he operates.
Yeah.
Does Chris Knobloch have that bone in his body? Like, you have boots on the ground, you know a lot closer than me. Does he lash out on these guys? Does he ever rip them, man?
Yes.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was even actually, I thought I saw something, a social media post where there was some sound that was taken from inside a locker room.
I remember hearing that.
And I mean, it wasn't for the faint of heart, and he really got into it.
Good
with his team. So I think everyone sees the demeanor behind the bench, and like, if you don't fly
and
off
behind the mic.
yes, but it's, that's just, and when people see that, they think that that's like that all the time.
Man, sometimes I need a little Patrick Waugh, though.
Mhm.
I need a little bit of going crazy on the players, like visibly. I need that, man.
But how about this, Eddie? If that's not who you are, then you're making it up.
That's true.
So
if that
then
is not absolutely, I agree with you.
Are you authentic?
And absolutely,
If you think that you're doing that to please a couple of the fans that send in our text and say, man, his demeanor, the way he's behind the bench, too calm, too cool, doesn't get riled up.
But then you see that with the troops too. You see the troops too calm, too cool, not willing to get riled up in the game. So maybe it is coming from the top down demeanor, a little too cool for your own shoes.
Mm-hmm. Sean texts in case you gentlemen didn't know, I'm here to tell you this Portuguese coffee is fantastic, pal.
Oh, I don't know.
Poor spec.
That's good.
Aaron says, hey guys, I like Dowdle to rush for 150 plus with 2 TDs tonight. Panthers win by a TD, maybe. They are destined to win the division. Wow, I don't know. Mark texts in, good morning, Kevin. Why do we never hear from the assistant coaches? From Mark. Good question, Mark. Sometimes there's a protocol, and sometimes the coach, the head coach says, well, this is the message that I want delivered. Knobloch isn't like that. And we have heard from, like, sometimes Glenn Gulletson would have spoken last year. Paul Coffey, again, he gets interviewed or was interviewed.
For sure.
It changes, I think. Some coaches want their message to be heard because sometimes there could be a mixed message from an assistant coach.
Crossing some wires.
There are times, too, over in the past few years that all of a sudden say the coach wants the day off, and they'll say, okay, so Gully would talk or whatever like that. So I don't know. I mean, when you were playing, did you have any, like, okay, so Chris
everybody
Jones,
would get.
Yeah, like, I mean.
You remember, everybody. Do you remember Ed Hervey? It would have been 2013. His seething interview post-game talking about Simeon Rotier and just how he'll never play again. And then Cavis had another one like that too. And everybody, they'll interview OCs, DCs. D-line coach will be up there.
Maybe it's different in football a little bit more, but I don't see in the NFL. Do you? Like, when's the last time you, like, an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator was?
I think those top 3 positions, head coach, OC, DC, you'll see some post game. Other than that, you won't see much.
No, but think about, like, Aaron Grimes. He's been on here how many times?
Tons.
Who else have we had? I mean, we've moved it around.
I've heard JC. We've had JC, and I've heard JC on Gregor as well. Like, all of them. All of them. I've spoken to all the coaches this year at some point with Elks Nation or through the radio.
Like, I mean, even a guy like, Jason Tucker, he's once you get him going, Tuck's a great interview, but it takes a while for him to get going because he'd rather not do them. But when you when you talk to Jason Tucker one-on-one, he's great. Like, he is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Well spoken. I mean, but back in the day when he was playing, he was like, go talk to someone else.
Preferred not to.
Go talk to someone else. That's how it was. But then you get guys too. Would you say that you get guys in the locker room that want they need the FaceTime? They want the FaceTime.
They like it. Yeah. I've played with
Who did you have back in the day?
Well,
don't throw anyone under the
bus.
bus.
No, there's no throwing under the bus, but guys like to market their brand. And there's no denying it. It's not a bad thing. I'm fully supportive of it, man. I'd call myself one of those guys, hence how I'm doing this now, because you try to stay relevant to a degree. Odell Willis, though. That's first and foremost.
Not Fred just texted in Odell.
That's who first and foremost. The mayor of Swaggerville in Winnipeg, and then the mayor of Commonwealth here. He was a face for sure, and he wasn't shy about it, and he really grew in popularity with the fan base because of how he was and his character.
We had a little run-in a while back too, because how do you explain this? I guess the easiest way to say is that when I was local TV, and there's no local TV that comes out besides global really now, but what would happen is you would have shooting windows in practice and would be 5 to 10 minutes, and they would do nothing. You guys would be doing on-field stretches. You would do this. There was nothing to shoot.
Yeah.
But that's the window, and it was BS. It was total BS. Anyway, during that time, Odell would go to the media on the sidelines and say, okay, everybody.
Get your push-ups
Get your
in.
push-ups
Gotta
in.
get your push-ups in, Kevin.
And I would say, no, Odell, this is the only time that you're allowing us to work here. I said, I don't interrupt you when you're on the field doing stuff. And he was like, Odell.
Yeah.
And he wasn't too
So
happy.
you declined the
I
push-ups,
declined, and I said to our shooter, you're not doing them either. You're filming, because we got 5 minutes, and that's the time that we are allotted.
Were all the other media, they did their
Well,
push-ups?
yeah, I think
So it was just you who didn't?
That's right.
Oh, Kevin.
Well, what?
Fine him.
Gotta work, man.
No, you just didn't want to do the push-ups. I know you. As you're stretching out the shoulders, I know you.
No,
man.
no,
You
no,
probably
Eddie.
had some nice dress clothes on.
No.
You didn't want to get on your tummy and do push-ups on the field. Look, I get it, man. But it's not for wanting to get your shoot in.
No,
you
that's the truth.
stubborn son of a
No,
gun.
no.
You didn't want to do the push-ups. I already knew where this story was
Come
going
on
from the
now.
jump.
No. And that's the truth. And you had 5 to 10 minutes to shoot. And at that time they were doing nothing. And they laughed. They laughed at all the guys.
That was good though, you think it's silly, but little things like that really bring everybody together. Even the media, even people outside, it does.
The media
KK.
wasn't getting brought together.
It does though, man.
No.
It brings everybody together.
No.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
What-
KK,
why-
it's good for overall morale, man.
Players
You're all
laughed
in
at
it.
the media guys.
Yeah, of course, but you're a part of it, man.
I don't know. I was never part
You're
of it.
Players laugh at everybody. But that's what a team. You're on a team. You laugh and you joke on guys, don't you? That's part of it, man. And that was
I would never
when the
make fun of
culture
any of
was
the media guys.
okay. I've heard you say plenty about your Edmonton's favorite tree planter.
I love Bobby. We all love Bobby, don't we?
It's all and that's what big deal. The media has to do 10 push-ups. We're out here grinding. It's all love. That's the part of it.
Grinding at that point.
We're
You guys are
stretching.
sitting around and you're laughing.
Stretching.
You're going. I would.
There's
hear-
nothing
they
wrong
go,
with
look at that one chump.
Oh.
Can't even do one push-up. That's what they're saying.
I'm sorry we had to talk about you like that.
Oh, that's okay. I'm fine. I got no qualms. Couple texts regarding JSN that he broke the record, and he's still got 6 games left to go for yardage for Seahawks.
For club record.
Record, yeah. He's at 1,318 yards, something like that.
There's going to be some big numbers. Now, it's interesting because there's an extra game, right?
Mhm.
So you can't have an asterisk because it is what it is, but you have to take it for what it is. These guys have
surprised-
an extra game.
I'm surprised, like Largent never had more than 1,300, or DK.
Wasn't someone like
DK was the leader on the list before this with, I think it was just over 1,300
Yeah, it
yards
was just-
in 16 games. And Largent had a couple different seasons, I believe, just below
1,200
that
or
on
whatever.
the list.
in passing was different back when Largent played. Sure, it was open, but it's way more open now.
Pillman says, "Hey Eddie, stop bullying KK." LOL. Happy Monday, boys.
Pillman, I know you do push-ups if you ask, especially if your fellow media compadres are all down there doing push-ups, and then you're going to be the one not. Shows how much of a team player you are.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, so you got a bunch of bozos that are out in the sidelines doing push-ups and getting made fun of by Odell and whoever. You were probably making fun of everyone too.
100%.
Yeah, look at that guy. Oh man, look at that guy.
100%. You see that guy in that peak coat? I bet he's going to go to his knees soon. That Karius global guy.
The other thing too, I would say is true. As the season wore on, it was less and less. Like it was in this, in June and July,
for sure.
Nicer weather.
Yeah, that's as the season wears on. Yeah, the gimmicks change.
Yeah, because you guys couldn't make fun of all the other media guys. You made fun of them for 2 months, and then you got tired. You got sick of it.
Got sick of watching you not be able to bang out 10 push-ups.
I could bang out 10.
Yeah, right. You told the world that you couldn't.
I didn't do them because I felt that we were being made fun of and taken advantage of. Plus, we were there to work.
Taken advantage of. I'm glad I know how you really feel about the push-ups. Taken advantage of.
We were. Coming up at 8:20, Josh Lewenberg covers the Toronto Raptors for TSN. The Raptors are really playing well right now. The schedule's been in their favor for sure, but you still got to play the games. You still got to win the games, and they're won 7 in a row. They're the hottest team outside of the Detroit Pistons in the East. I think some teams out west, I'm sure haven't even looked. Well,
yeah, West is always.
OKC's won 9 in a row again. They're 17-1.
San Antonio. There's so many teams in the West.
Well, I mean, San Antonio is 11-5. But I mean, there's Oklahoma City, and then there's everyone else. But we'll see. I mean, the Raptors. No one ever thought that they'd be 12-5.
This is a surprise. What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So that's coming up right after the break. Josh Lewenberg from TSN. It's a Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick and Eddie Steele on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Tired of the same old holiday tunes? Spice things up with the sound of a Wilhauk beef jerky bag being torn open. It's the carol that everyone wants to hear, promising a chorus of tender, perfectly spiced beef jerky. This holiday season, make sure you're Wilhauking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Hey, You know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-27.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with basketball. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:20 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Draining clogged pipes like three-pointers. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca. As we welcome back Josh Lewenberg from TSN, covers the Toronto Raptors, who are smoking hot right now. Morning, Josh, with Kevin Karius and the former Grey Cup champion, Eddie Steele. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Happy to be on. How you guys doing?
We're doing great here. And man, oh man, the way that the Raptors are playing, are you pleasantly surprised, Josh? How would you assess things right now where this team is second right now in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I know that's a good way to put it. I think they're exceeding even the most optimistic expectations that anyone could have had going into the season. I think, look, there was a pretty wide range of potential options for this team going into the year, just based on the uncertainty surrounding Brandon Ingram. Is he healthy? Is he going to fit in? But the baseline projection that most people had was like a 500-ish team hovering around average for most of the season and then finishing probably somewhere in the play-in mix. But I think especially early in the year, you looked at how difficult the schedule was. 10 of the first 15 games came on the road. And then obviously working in Ingram, figured it would take some time for things to gel. So for them to get off to this kind of start is certainly a pleasant surprise. And then you look at how they're doing it. I mean, specifically the fact that they're scoring the ball as well as they are, that they've been as good as they have been offensively. Like, that has been the biggest surprise to me. I think the path to exceeding expectations this year was always going to be on the defensive end, where they were ranked second in the NBA over the second half of last year. That was kind of their identity going in to the year. But offensively, this is a team that has really struggled over the last few years, specifically in the half court. I think they're ranked second in half court offense, a top 10 offensive team overall right now. And a lot of that has been the Brandon Ingram effect. So, I mean, overall, their success so far, a surprise, and then specifically how they're getting it done has been also a pleasant surprise.
What about R.J. Barrett, Josh? How serious do you think this knee sprain is from last night's game?
I don't want to speculate. It's hard to say. We didn't get an update after the game. He's still going for some more testing. I think he had some done last night, probably a little bit more today in terms of imaging, MRI and whatnot. So we should have word, at least a little bit more information or a sense of how serious it could be before the game tonight. I would be very, very surprised to see him suiting up tonight. I mean, it was one of those things that initially, once he came down from the dunk, you could see something wasn't right. And clearly he knew that something wasn't right. He went straight to the locker room and looked very frustrated. So the hope, obviously, is that it's not as bad as it looked. But, I mean, this is a team that's been very fortunate so far this season to be healthy, outside of the Jakob Poeltl nagging back issue that, for the most part, has seemed a lot better. I mean, he's looked great lately, and they're just managing it on back-to-backs. Outside of that, they've been healthy here. So knock on wood, fingers crossed that things are okay with RJ here.
Now, Josh, I want to circle back to this offensive output that they've had throughout the season here to begin. And I have some numbers for you and for our listeners that I want to dig into a bit more. The Raptors are 5th in the entire NBA in points per game, 121 points per game. 3rd in field goal percentage, shooting 50.3%. 3rd in three-point field goal percentage at 38.5%. Tied for 2nd in the league at 30.4 assists per game. Now, offensively, they are absolutely getting it done. And you mentioned that this is the Brandon Ingram effect. Do you think it is really solely him, or has this coaching staff been able to tap into some other players in some other ways to be able to get this output from them?
No, I think it's a combination. Let's start by giving head coach Darko Rajakovic a lot of credit here because, I mean, the way in which they're playing the game, and it's a beautiful style of basketball, sharing the rock. And I mean, so much of Darko's influence as a coach is through European basketball. He's coached all over the world in his nearly 30 years of coaching experience, but a lot of his influence comes from that European style of play, which is predicated on moving the ball, man movement, making quick decisions. Those are things that he preached from day one. Those are things that he emphasized even before he got the job. And that's one of the things that allowed him to emerge as a dark horse candidate when this team was looking to replace Nick Nurse a couple of years ago. Now, I think you could look at how this team played over the last few years and see like little nuggets of it coming through. I mean, previous to the Darko hiring, this was one of the worst teams in the NBA in terms of moving the ball, assists. They were at the bottom of the league. The last 2 years, they were near the top of the league in assists, but it didn't necessarily translate because they were also simultaneously at the bottom of the league in offensive efficiency. In other words, like they were moving the ball, but not always with a purpose, and they just didn't have the talent and the personnel to pull off that style of play. Now that he has that talent, and now that some of the younger guys have grown and improved and are ready to take the next step, I think we're seeing it all come together. And yes, a lot of it has to do with that BI effect where Ingram is helping the offense, obviously directly in the way that he's scoring himself and averaging around 20 points a game. I mean, he is one of the most gifted natural scorers in basketball. But I think the indirect impact there is because he's so good and because defenses have to respect that and worry about that. We're seeing that, especially late in games where the Raptors really struggled a year ago. Now they're sending a second defender at Ingram. He's being patient and unselfish and finding the open guy. They won a game against Charlotte last week because he found the cutting RJ Barrett. I mean, we saw it last night at the end of the game as well. He found Emmanuel quickly open for three. So that is opening things up to the point where guys are getting much better looks. They're knocking them down. And then I'll circle back one more time to Darko because Ingram is one of the best isolation scorers in basketball, but that's not necessarily how they want to play. I think that was the concern when they made the trade, at least for me, because I'm thinking like you throw the ball to Ingram and have him do his thing, like all of a sudden that kind of grinds the offense to a halt. Not Darko's style of play. He's really done a good job. I mean, obviously Ingram has had to be adaptable, but the coaching staff has done a great job of integrating one of the best isolation scorers in basketball into this free-flowing system to where everything has fit really, really well.
Josh Lewinberg from TSN, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show with Eddie Steele on Sports 1440. Tonight's tilt then, Josh, with Cleveland coming to Toronto. When you're on a bit of a heater like the Raptors are, winning 7 in a row, things are going well. But what do you make of this game in the sense that, you know, the competition level with Cleveland coming in, you know, it's a little bit better than Brooklyn and things like that. So what do you make of this one where, you know, Cleveland's going to be a tough test tonight?
Yeah, much tougher test. I think much more telling in terms of where this team is actually at right now, because to your point, like it's hard to read too much into wins over Washington and Brooklyn, two teams that, I mean, to their credit, like Washington fought pretty hard up until the second half. The first half was pretty competitive. And then last night, it's kind of the inverse. But, I mean, Brooklyn really hung in there in the second half and gave the Raptors a bit of a test there in the fourth. But, I mean, look, good teams take care of business against bad teams. So I think even these last couple games have been encouraging in that sense. I believe it was only 14 seconds that the Raptors trailed in the last 2 games. So credit to them for taking care of business. But yeah, this is going to be a much bigger test against a team that they've had success against. They have 2 wins against Cleveland in Cleveland this year. They have historically matched up pretty well against the Cavs, as long as the Cavs aren't featuring a player by the name of LeBron James. I mean, that was a whole other situation. But since LeBron left, they've matched up pretty well with Cleveland, despite the fact that the Cavs obviously have a lot of talent. They have a lot of size in that front court with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. That's why I thought it was very interesting and pretty smart that the Raptors chose to rest Jakob Poeltl in the first game of the back-to-back against the struggling Nets yesterday, keeping him fresh and obviously in the lineup tonight. So even if RJ doesn't play, they'll have Yak back in the lineup, which is a big thing. I think this will be a really interesting game. Obviously, the Raptors in the second game of the back-to-back, but so are the Cavs, and they actually had to travel. And I believe they were playing in Cleveland last night, so it's not a long flight, but it's still a flight. The Raptors were here, got a good night's sleep, presumably in their own beds. We'll see how it plays out and if the Raptors can keep things going.
We're talking with our headliner of the day, Josh Lewinberg from TSN, covering all things Toronto Raptors. Now, Josh, I was fortunate enough to catch your post-game reporting yesterday about Jakob Poeltl and his back injury and how he's not playing the back-to-backs. Can you just kind of get us up to speed and let us know where he's at and how he will be in the roster for tonight?
Yeah, so it sounds like the plan right now is to rest Yak in half of these back-to-back sets, so either on the first night or the second night. And clearly they've looked ahead here and kind of planned things out to where they'll have him active, I would imagine, in the either more important game of the back-to-back or the more important matchup. So in this case, the tougher game is obviously Cleveland, but also, as I said, the matchup against Jared Allen and Evan Mobley makes more sense to have him active here. So even though in the past, I think the last couple back-to-backs, they've rested him in the second game, they rested him in the first game here. It sounds like it's going to be something that they're doing at least for the foreseeable future here, if not the full season. They've left things kind of open-ended here and flexible. Yesterday, Darko was talking about, okay, well, they reevaluate this on a, if not daily basis, weekly basis to see how Poeltl is doing. But back injuries are tricky, right? Like, they flare up, they flare down, they're kind of unpredictable, and they're very fortunate in that, as I said, after really, really struggling to start the season and missing some time with the back injury, Poeltl's been playing really well lately. And as I mentioned on SportsCenter yesterday, is for a while now, I've called Poeltl the most irreplaceable player on this team, not because he's the best player, but just because, one, he brings so many things to the table that are so unique in terms of skill set. They don't have anyone else who does a lot of the things that he does in terms of bringing size, toughness, just his overall basketball IQ, the screen setting. Now, they're a little bit better off in the sense that they have more depth behind him this year with Sandro Mamukelashvili and the rookie Colin Murray-Boyles. But even still, they need Yak in the lineup. They need Yak to be as healthy as possible. So, yeah, this is kind of the way that the NBA has gone over the years. It's about load management. And, even with the Kawhi year in the championship season, they told us, well, yeah, the plan for now is to rest them in back-to-backs. We'll see how it goes. We'll reevaluate. And guess what? He missed at least one game in each of the back-to-backs all season long. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But I think for now, this is a pretty smart plan to keep Yak healthy.
Josh Lewinberg with us on Sports 1440. What do you think Bobby Webster does here in the sense that maybe they're fast-tracking to more success than they thought they would have? And that's something you talked about, Josh. Does he change on the fly? Does he, maybe his thought process might be a little different moving forward here in the next couple of months with maybe adding a player or two at the deadline and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the first chance that we'll get to see what a Bobby Webster-led front office does and how he approaches not only the trade deadline specifically, but just roster building in general. Up to this point, he has been part of the front office, but Masai Ujiri, for the whatever it was, 12 or so years that he was here, had always had the final say. He had autonomy to essentially do what he wanted when he wanted. But I will say, under Masai, like the Raptors front office over the last decade plus, they have been flexible in the sense that they've always kind of said, okay, well, the players, the team, the coaches are going to dictate what we do here. And it really seemed like that was the mentality for Bobby Webster going into the season, that they were going to give this team that he and Masai had built and believed in, felt strongly in, an opportunity to essentially sink or swim and show what they have. And I think if things had gone the opposite way, if this team had gotten off to a really slow start, especially considering how expensive they are and the fact that right now they're projected to be a tax team, in the other scenario, then I absolutely think that we would have seen some major changes, probably in the way of selling off a talent at the deadline. So now they're in a situation where it's like, okay, they're ahead of schedule. They're taking advantage of this opportunity that exists in the Eastern Conference right now, based on the fact that it's wide open. You've got a couple of teams that are normally at the top in Boston and Indiana missing their best players in Tatum and Halliburton. That's the reason why Masai went out and made the Ingram trade, not because of those injuries. Those guys weren't hurt yet. Nobody knew that they were going to get hurt, but there was an opportunity in the East. So I think it's important to identify that, look inwards and evaluate and say, okay, well, what does this team need to take the next step and maybe make a run in the postseason? I don't know what the answer is to that necessarily, because yeah, I mean, they're pretty deep right now. They're fairly balanced. They could use some size, certainly, especially with the back uncertainty and Pirtle and all of that. The beauty of the NBA, though, is that there's always something going on. Even if we don't know necessarily what it is, there's always a star available. There's always somebody on the trade block. It's what it creates all of this drama and all the fun that we see every year at the deadline or in the off season. I don't know if any of the guys that are currently supposed to be on the trade block actually make sense for the Raptors. I know they've been mentioned in the Anthony Davis talks with Dallas. But look, I mean, they're currently fortunate that their injury prone star in Ingram has been healthy. I don't know that you want to double down and take a chance on another injury prone star, especially one that's older in Davis and will probably cost a lot. John Morant, like LaMelo Ball, those guys are out there, but a lot of red flags there. And I don't know if the Raptors have a need at that guard position right now, especially for guys that aren't shooting the ball well. But again, the NBA, you never know who the next guy is going to be. And there's a lot of time between now and the February trade deadline. So I would expect the Raptors to be among the more active teams, one of the teams that you'll hear pop up in trade rumors between now and February, because at least as long as Webster has been here, whether he's been the top guy or the second guy, they've always been active. They've always been in the mix, and I would expect that to continue.
Josh, as always, great stuff, great insight. Enjoy the game tonight, and I'm sure we'll chat soon as the season progresses for the Raptors. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Anytime. Talk soon.
That's Josh Lewenberg from TSN, covers the Raptors. They're home to the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, and the Cavs right behind them in the Eastern Conference standings. That was the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the true goat of local plumbing. That's mrrooter.ca. Daniel in Black Falls texts in, hey, just to let people know, I just turned around on the QE2 south of Bowden. Not recommending traveling to Calgary right now.
Good looking out.
Thanks for that.
Really good looking
Daniel.
out. It's going to be nuts out there.
Well, and I mean, that stretch, right around Bowden, for whatever it is, I don't know, there's a pocket.
It's that, Bowden through Airdrie.
You got all that.
Well, even south, though, it's like always seems like Innisfil and Olds. That stretch gets crazy. Carstairs, Didsbury. From there through Airdrie, Calgary, it gets nuts, man.
It's like a little bubble in there.
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
When we come back, we're going to go in or out with Eddie Steele on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and people often ask me, hey, Rick, do people actually buy RVs from No Bull in the fall?
Fair question, Rick. Why would you want to buy an RV just when it's time to put it away in storage for the winter?
And I have the answer, Bob, because the RVs at No Bull are used, and that means every RV on our lot is a one-of-a-kind. So when you're looking for a used RV, you can be really picky.
One of a kind means you don't have to compromise on what you're looking for.
That's right, Bob. But it also means when you find the right one, you grab it up before someone else does. Sometimes that's in the fall, but No Bull makes it easy because when you buy your used RV now, we include winterization and winter storage for free. We even get it prepared for spring camping at no charge to you. All you need to do is be ready for the great outdoors come next spring. When you think of it that way, the fall might be the best time to get your RV.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:43 in Edmonton, Montana's curling trials. Looks like Brad Gushu's going to win his game over Epping. And then looking like Brad Jacobs will beat Mike McEwen. 6-3 Jacobs is leading in the 10th. In the 9th end, Gushu's up 5-2, but without Hammer. So we'll keep you up to date on all of that. Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out? In or out of what? No time for questions, just action. In or out? Well, then I'm out. I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck.
Edmonton Oilers wrapped up their 7-game road trip with a win Saturday in Sunrise 6-3. They beat the Panthers to finish a exact 500, 3-3-1 on the trip. The most encouraging sign from the team's games in Florida, I'm taking both Tampa and the Panthers matches into consideration here, was the emotional engagement that they showed.
Sure, I'll go in on this one, Duke. And I mean, we saw, I guess you would say the lowest point was against Buffalo, as far as if you want to use that term, emotional engagement. Against the Sabres, there was nothing. And then, as that road trip continued on, you saw more of it in Washington, Tampa, and then in Florida. So, and that's how this team has to play. I mean, every team has to play like that, because if you're not emotionally engaged, more often than not, you're not even going to win the game, because that's how close it is. That's about the competition level and the parity right now. If you don't bring that, quite likely you're not going to come out on the winning end of many games. Eddie, are you still with us?
Yeah. I was looking at wow.
Guy can't even have a moment to collect his thoughts before speaking, before KK's down his throat all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, you know what it is, dude. This guy's sour because we used to make him do push-ups.
He is totally sour grapes this morning.
Why would I be sour?
We used to yell, push-ups, media, push-ups.
And more than that, Eddie was attacking your character, your physical character, this morning in response to this, which happened starting like 10 years ago.
My physical character. Wow.
Because he's saying you didn't do them because you couldn't.
He'd have to go from his knees, and he just couldn't bear that.
Some little
I'm so
alternative push-ups.
All the people are very unhappy with you bullying me today.
That's not true.
Duke, let me know, man.
There's some on both sides. There's some on both sides.
We need more KK and Eddie giving it to each other. Great radio. Wonder if Speck ever did.
Well, what about Bob? Bob says keep going, Eddie. Kevin gives it out. Can't do push-ups. Excuses. Yeah. Kevin, go, Eddie, go. Yeah.
Totally, Bob.
And then my buddy Naz, who called me a coward last week. Leave KK alone. He's a good man. He doesn't like push-ups.
Whoa. Whoa. We need to examine this more.
It's a matter of principle, not a lack of ability.
I was listening when Naz called you a coward. So you go from a coward to now having your back like that? Pick a side, Naz. Come on now.
People can change their opinions. Maybe he really liked the way Kevin responded and is going to go about changing his ways.
Nonetheless, what's cowardly is not doing push-ups with the other media members. That's cowardly, Naz.
I stood by my guns. I went down and I said, you know what? I'm not doing it. Sorry, Odell, pal. I'm not doing it.
I'm in though, Duke. I'm in.
You're in. Yeah. Listen, the team is playing better. There's still some pretty evident flaws. I think we saw it creep in the goals they gave up. Obviously, the one goal against Tampa, and then some of them against the Panthers as well. Like defensively, still some work to go. The offense is coming around with contributions from more players, but seeing that little bit of feistiness, the emotional investment in Tampa with the fight. Some extracurriculars after the whistles, and we knew it would be a little more heated in Florida. I'm kind of glad that element of the game did not come up short of our expectations. It was engaged essentially start to finish, even though they controlled the game for its vast majority. Number 2, yesterday, Colorado won their 9th straight. They have points in 13 consecutive games, just one loss in regulation here over a quarter of the way through the season for the Avalanche. I'm looking around the rest of the NHL right now. It is a log jam in the standings, pretty much top to bottom in both conferences. I think the Avalanche are in a league of their own right now compared to the rest of the National Hockey League.
Go ahead, Eddie.
I'll have to take this one, KK. So why I was taken aback and stunned, listening to your answer in that first question, because I was looking at some numbers here. And yes, Colorado, they're 16-1-5, 37 points. The next closest points wise is 30, and that's Carolina. So they're 7 up.
And Dallas.
But then you look at the goal differential. They are plus 38. Plus 38. They have 88 goals for 50 against. The next closest is plus 13. Plus 38. Next closest is plus 13, Kevin. That's insane, man.
It's Carolina.
Yeah, in Carolina. So they are so dominant. That right there is such a dominant figure.
There's no one even close to them.
Not even close to them.
And I mean, you're not keeping this pace. We know, like, I mean, to lose one regulation game in the first 2 months of the season. But, I mean, their goaltending has been top-notch. I mean, Wedgwood, no one would have thought Wedgwood could come in and fill in for Blackwood like this. McCarr is easily going to win the Norris again. McKinnon could be the Hart. I mean, every player that they have,
they're all humming.
Netris is having a fabulous season.
They're all humming.
Everyone. They're probably a defenseman short. We'll see what they do and address there, but I mean, they got a good team, man. They got a good team.
That goal differential, that is so telling.
Yeah, listen, we knew the Avalanche are going to be a team in the mix. They have McCarr, they have McKinnon. You add a guy like Natchez, he got the new contract. Even Devon Taves, of course, on McCarr's other side on the back end. They're a rock solid team. But I was a little curious about how, because the team is moving in a different direction, right? It's the post-Rantanen era. They didn't look the same in the second half last year after trading him. Natchez, took his time to fit in. He was good, but he's still not Mikko Rantanen. And they retooled. Some guys out, some fresh faces in. They look like the same dominant team that won a Stanley Cup a few years ago. And I think right now it is not even close across not just their own conference, not their own division, but the entire league. Over to the gridiron, week 12 nearly in the books, just one game to go tonight. We'll get to Monday Night Football in a moment, but we're into the final third of the regular season, week 13, getting underway on Thanksgiving. Through the first 2/3 of the campaign, I think the LA Rams, after last night's authoritative win in primetime, are the clear-cut Super Bowl favorites.
Go ahead, football boy.
Yeah. I'll be in, Duke. Again, we look at the point differential, and they're plus 127, and the next closest is plus 112, and that'd be Seattle. Now, what that's saying is offensively, they're getting it done, but defensively as well, the LA Rams, and we know their defensive line is stout, man. They have Jared Verse. They have, what's his face, who was dancing all over them at D-tackle yesterday? No, not Fisk.
Young?
He's the captain, 91. I forget his name. He had a couple sacks yesterday. Yeah, he's a real tone setter from the inside. And offensively, we talked about Matthew Stafford and what he's doing with just the control he has, the numbers. I mean, Colby Turner. There we go. Thank you, KK.
Plus Puna Ford.
Plus Puna. Yeah.
Poor Connor's Chargers in his rearview mirror. He looks way better now.
Yeah, he does. Like, their defensive line is dominant right now. And Matthew Stafford, what is it? 25 touchdowns and 2 picks? Is that what the number is, guys?
Yeah.
Lights out.
I can't argue with anything that you just said. I mean, you can look at, obviously, the Patriots have won 9 in a row. Schedule's not like that. In the NFC, I don't see another team like that right now. And you can discuss where the Hawks are. And you said, you brought up the point differential, massive. We'll see what the 49ers can do. They can keep pace with a win tonight too. But I'll go, I'll say it right now, the Rams. And we never really, you didn't touch on anyone in the AFC, and you mentioned the one team, and they were favored to win probably the conference or be in the Final Four to play for the conference, and that's Baltimore.
Yep.
And they've won 5 in a row. The defense was terrible at the start of the year. They're coming on, playing better, and with Lamar back.
It's just the one thing with the Rams, though, KK, like the receivers, they got good receivers. And
I'm not disagreeing with anything you said. I'm just out of looking in the AFC.
Yeah.
When you look at teams that scare you, down the road,
it would be
let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens in the last 5-6 games here, right? So,
and coaching matters, and I really like what Sean McVay does in terms of the game plans he prepares.
Yeah, 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, Eddie, in Matt Stafford's current ratio. We mentioned it earlier. I think the now clear-cut favorite for the MVP as well here at 39 years old. Very good for Stafford. Already a Super Bowl champion. Week 12 wrapping up tonight from the Bay. Niners taking on the Carolina Panthers. Chance to take the division lead in the vaunted NFC South for the Panthers tonight, should they come out victorious. But I don't think they will. I'm picking a Niners win, but a Carolina cover of the 7.5 points, of which they are currently the underdog.
So that means you're taking...
I'm taking the Panthers plus 7.5. I think they're a pesky team. And here, you know what? Cards on the table. If I can get a similar performance from last week out of Bryce Young and Ted McMillan, I will manage to overcome the highest scoring team in this league that I'm currently trailing my fantasy matchup.
Well, again, these guys you're playing against, you have every top young player in a dynasty league. These other guys, I have no clue who they're picking when they.
No, that's a different league.
Oh, okay. I'm probably going to agree with this. I don't know if the Panthers can win, but I think that they do cover. So I'm probably on board with you here, Duke. Although I need
you need the Niners to eat some losses here.
I need the Niners.
Jeez,
yeah.
buddy, you're cheering against yourself now. Like what?
That schedule stinks.
I'm standing on business, and I
You're
said
saying-
it earlier. I think Carolina is
You're
going
gonna
to
win this game?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I really do, because prime time, first and foremost,
Mhm.
they don't get many of those down in Carolina to be on prime time. And then you look at the progression, their offense is having a pretty strong season down there in Carolina.
Yep.
And they're
And the
stringing
defense has
together
actually
wins.
come along a long way, even in these 12 weeks. And it's been a bit of a process. I still think there's some questions about Bryce Young moving forward. Last week was his first ever 300 yard game in his career. But David Canales, right? Like, this was the guy that preceded Liam Cohen in Tampa Bay as the guy that kind of turned around Baker Mayfield a little bit and helped steer things in the right direction. I think he's starting to get his prints all over this team a little bit, top to bottom. And I do think that they're, around that corner from abysmal to frisky and can make some teams sweat it out at times. Lastly, today, kicking off Games and Puzzles Week. National Games and Puzzles Week, the most overrated board game from our youth, and this actually is more so from Kevin's youth than anything else. Came out in 1949.
Milton Bradley.
Milton.
I'm saying Candyland. That game stinks. It sucks.
It's a good game, but I'm going to be
do anything.
This is going to be slightly controversial, but I'm going to say Monopoly is overrated.
Oh, Eddie,
come on
that's
now.
a terrible
No,
take.
because check it out. Who's got 8 hours to sit and play a game? Nobody ever ends up winning unless you literally commit half a day to the game.
No.
Okay, tell me the last time you sat and played a full game of Monopoly when someone won. Tell me.
On the plane ride to Mexico, we played online against each other.
Online. I'm
And-
talking where that's not board game. We're talking a board
But
game.
it is a
When's
board
the last
game.
time?
The rules are the same. You're just
What-
playing it digitally.
No, digitally is not board. We're talking about a physical board game that you sit with people. When's the last time you've ever finished a game of Monopoly? Usually it just keeps going and going and going, and there's no end in sight.
No, I've finished games plenty of times.
I want
You were talking
You
about
wanna have
long
a game of Monopoly one of these days?
No, I don't got time to commit to you like that.
Risk takes longer than Monopoly.
Risk.
The farming game takes longer than
Farm-
Monopoly.
There we go again. The farming.
I knew the farming
Okay,
too.
Delburne boy. You just had to get the farming game in
farming,
there.
The farming game is excellent. I won't take any slander against it. It's an awesome game. It's
What-
better than Monopoly, but
Do
it
you
does
have
take
the
longer.
dual jousting jousting pigs?
Yeah. I don't know if that's classified a board game. Like pigs.
Yeah.
Like, tequila.
Double
pigs.
hog jowler.
That's it, the
Leading
double hog
hog
jowler.
jowler.
That's it. Yes.
I don't know.
Okay,
No, I don't
okay.
think I've
Where are
ever
you at
played
with the board
Candyland.
game? Really?
I don't think I've ever played it. So.
You're not missing much. There's no strategy. Like, it is a kid's game. There, all you do is roll the dice, draw cards.
Kind of can't or Snakes and Ladders esque.
Yeah.
But Snakes and Ladders, at least there's a little bit of excitement with you like move the piece down the snake or climb the ladder. In Candyland, it's like you draw the card. All right, move to this color or move to this location.
It's
Like
very
what a Gumdrop
nostalgic.
Mountain. It's stink. Candyland sucks.
It's nostalgic.
Hmm.
Where you at, KK?
I was just checking a few other ones out, like Risk, which can be long too, right, Duke?
Yeah, but like that is fun. Like that is the juice is worth the squeeze with Risk.
Ukraine is weak. that's from Seinfeld.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? He pounds that
Yeah,
board.
then he gets beat up in the subway by the Ukrainian guy.
Yes.
How about Battleship?
That's a good one.
Also,
That's not overrated.
No, I think Battleship's
not
overrated. It's not very exciting.
Man, you're such a millennial. You just want everything digital, huh, bro?
What does that have to do with anything?
Gee whiz.
I just said
Everything's
I just
overrated.
said I'm playing Risk in the farming game.
So, how about Trivial Pursuit, Eddie? Remember that?
That's
Did
a
you ever
great
play
game.
that?
Yes, I've played.
And
That's old.
that would be a game where I can't see you having much patience for.
Yeah. What about like
Can I get the sports category, please?
ooh. You know what, KK? If you and I did a Jeopardy type setting, I would wipe the floor with you, buddy. Wipe the floor with you.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. In all different categories, absolutely.
Hmm.
It says
That's been the
hey,
best-
Duke, says the sportscaster for the past 35 years.
That's been the best part of with my new apartment. It came like with TELUS cable, but it's still over the internet, so it doesn't really make any sense. Besides the point, I have actual channels. I can watch Jeopardy every night again now, and I'm ecstatic about it. It's appointment viewing for me. I love Jeopardy.
Good stuff, Eddie. What do you got going? Heading out?
Heading down to see our boy Deck, Elks Nation.
Yeah.
Gonna shoot Elks
You're not
Nation.
driving around,
Oh
remember?
no, I'm gonna stick close to town today.
Those roads are
Yeah,
rough
they're-
out there.
Yeah, they
Don't
are,
drive
and
down
those shoulders are soft.
Yeah. And of course, MTR comes in. That's not saying much, Eddie. He would be beating a guy with a grade 10 education. Yeah. He just loves that.
He does.
See, Pillman, he's on my side. I got $20 on KK against Eddie.
Duke, for one of our in and outs one day, line us up with 5 Jeopardy style questions. We'll go head to head.
Maybe on a Friday, I'll just take the 5 final Jeopardy questions from that week, and
Yeah.
hopefully you guys aren't trying
We'll
to
go
cheat.
head to head combat.
If you say so, what C's get degrees at the University of Manitoba?
The only reason I went to the University of Manitoba is it's the only school I could get into.
Have a wonderful week, Eddie. We'll see you on Friday, big guy.
Thank you. Take care, boys.
That's our co-host Mondays and Fridays, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team with the double E. Top of the hour, Jared Bell from USA Today will bust down a few more NFL storylines, Shadur Sanders among them. Before that, time now for Sports 1440 update, brought to you by First Round. And you could win an NFL jersey tonight at both locations, and also you get 50% off boneless wings, which we had on Thursday with Laddie Schmid. First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Half of the games around the NHL yesterday. Buffalo beating Carolina 4-1. Jesper Wallstedt with another shutout as the Wild blanked Winnipeg 3-0. Colorado, 9th straight win. They beat Chicago 1-0, and the Flames make it 3 in a row with a 5-2 victory over the Canucks. Week 12 NFL Sunday was a wild one. Shadur Sanders gets his first career win in his first start as the Browns top Vegas 24-10. Cowboys getting 24 unanswered. Come back against the Eagles and win it 24-21. And on Sunday Night Football, lopsided affairs. The Bucs take it 34-7. Baker Mayfield left the game with a shoulder injury and did not return. On the hardwood, 8 games total, including the Raptors grabbing their 7th win in a row, 119-109 over Brooklyn. And finally, Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax. Last night's draw 5 saw Carrie Anderson remaining undefeated. Rachel Homan losing to Alberta's Kayla Skrlik. Homan's first loss to a Canadian club in over a year. And draw 6 currently wrapping up. Draw number 7 will get underway just after noon today. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Jarrett Bell from USA Today covering the NFL and Kenzie Lalonde from the PWHL play-by-play team. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:03 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the biggest sale of the year is on right now with the 2025 Jeep Compass. Hey, it's a Jeep. It's a 4x4. It's got that 8.4-inch touch screen. The keyless entry starts at $34,900, only at stalbertdodge.com, as we welcome in Jared Bell from USA Today. Morning, Jared. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, pretty good, man. What's going on, Kevin?
Good to talk to you again, Jared. And I mean, when you look at yesterday's games in the NFL, was there one or two in particular that caught your eye? And I think up here, a lot of the buzz was the Dallas comeback over the Eagles. Where do you rank that one yesterday, Jared?
Yeah, I caught the last few minutes of that. I'm in Atlanta, and I was watching the Falcons game was on here. And they gave us the coverage at the end of the Cowboys game. But I was kind of monitoring it, just, paying attention to, the scores and stuff as they came in. And that was a big one. And then just to kind of see how it all went down, the Cowboys had to come back. Dak had the great day. And, it's the Eagles who have had one thing after another kind of pop up in the conversation about their offense. And so, that one caught my eye. I watched the Colts lose to Kansas City, another comeback. The Chiefs, were down by 11 early in the fourth quarter, came back to win that game. And lo and behold, I've got the Cowboys and the Eagles to cover on Thanksgiving in Dallas. So I was home yesterday, but I'm on the road to Thanksgiving, and those are the two teams that I get to see on Thursday.
Oh, it's going to be such a great day. We love the American Thanksgiving up here with those three football games, Jarrett. Your article in USA Today about Shedeur Sanders and getting a start, his first start and getting a win. What did you make of everything that went down with the quarterback in Cleveland?
Yeah, he didn't wet his pants, so that's a big thing, right? And I say that only half joking because a rookie quarterback first start, a lot of things can happen. Now he had that first half of football the week earlier, a week ago when he had to enter the game off the bench, but I think he kind of showed that. You give him some dedicated preparation. He had a week of time of, game planning and work with the starters. That was the key thing. And he talked about it after that Baltimore game a week ago, how, he wanted to have better timing with the receivers. Well, they had the chance to work on those things last week. But really, Kevin, you and I could have gone out and probably won that game because the Browns defense was just so amazing, getting 10 sacks on Geno Smith.
Wow.
And so, hey, any rookie quarterback can use any quarterback really good, especially a rookie quarterback can use a great defense and a great running game. And Shedeur had that. And so that's why I say he didn't wet his pants because he did have one interception, but, that was his only turnover. And so through 6 quarters, he's had one turnover, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. Jared Bell with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. When you mention that defense, our co-host on Mondays from 7 to 9 is Eddie Steele, an old defensive lineman for the Double E and won a Grey Cup here in 2015.
Eskimos.
Yeah. And he was talking about, because we were bringing up, MVP and all that. And, everyone's talking about Stafford, but he even said, what about Myles Garrett here? What if he gets to 25 sacks and blows that record out of the water? What do you make of that?
You know what? I think I should write a column on that. I think that's a great idea because, generally, it's the award goes to the quarterback, right? Even a great running back can have a phenomenal season, and it's very rare that a running back will win the MVP award. Well, I think the last defensive guy was Lawrence Taylor. I think I'll have to go back and look it up. But yeah, Lawrence Taylor, I'm pretty sure was the last defensive guy to win an MVP award. And we're going back into the 80s now. So we're talking, over 35, over 30 for sure, and over 40 probably years ago, or close to 40 years ago.
86. Yeah.
86. There you go. Thank you for the fact check. That's why I come to you guys, because I want the facts checked. But then, you had Alan Page, I believe, around 1970 or early 70s as a defensive guy. But it just doesn't happen. And people just kind of overlook it. And the award goes to the quarterback. The thing that will be interesting in just weighing the case of Myles Garrett, because I think we already know he's Defensive Player of the Year, right? So at bare minimum. But the thing that kind of weighs down on his case is the fact that the Browns are 3-8, right? And so, Matthew Stafford is probably the front runner overall when you look at it from the metrics of, okay, which quarterback is, having a great year. Yeah, it's probably Matthew Stafford. But I think it's a great point. And like I said, I think I got some fuel for a column.
There you go. Good stuff, Jared. Hey, we have a segment called In or Out. And I'm going to read you the question that we just did about 15, 20 minutes ago. Here it is. In the NFL, heading into the final third of the regular season, the LA Rams are the clear-cut Super Bowl favorites. Would you be in or out on that one, Jared?
Yeah. I'm in at this moment, yes. It took a whole lot for me to get there, right? He's like, okay, give me a quick rapid-fire response.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
They were dominant last night, though. What do you think of that performance?
Yeah, it was. And I think the thing that you look at with them, because I'm still bullish on Denver. So no question in my mind that they are the NFC favorite. And they'll have the bye week, it looks like, and the home field advantage if things continue to go the way they have. So they're lined up for that. On the other side, Denver is just one that, I'm impressed with, but, Bo Nix does not compare to Matthew Stafford, but the Broncos bring a defense. So I'm in with that. The more we think about it, the more I talk. Yeah, I'm in. And I like Denver, but yeah, I'm in with that right now.
What do you make about the Ravens? After a really, really bad start, Jared, now reeled off 5 straight wins and are tied with the Steelers in the AFC North.
Yeah, and technically they are in first place, right, with the tiebreakers and stuff. And so, with so much football left, a third of the season to go, that's why it's tough to say, okay, you're all in for this team to be Super Bowl champs or whatever, which, I get it. It's conversation. But if you're talking about a team from the AFC that might be able to emerge as a legitimate threat, it's Baltimore with a healthy Lamar Jackson. Now, they don't have Mbukwe. I think his first name is Nnamdi Mbukwe. They're, phenomenal defensive tackle. He's done for the year. But they've got Lamar Jackson, and they've got some other pretty good players on defense. So the Ravens, they could catch fire, and they've already caught fire just to get to this point with 5 in a row. But down the stretch, they've got to play Pittsburgh twice. And then Cincinnati twice and a couple other teams. They've got New England in late December, and that could be so pivotal just in terms of where they're positioned in the whole playoff field.
USA Today's Jared Bell, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Do you think the Colts can hang on to the division lead in the AFC South, Jared, because the Jags and Texans are coming hard here?
Yeah, and the Texans, and watching them the other night against Buffalo, it really caught my eye because, hey, Buffalo could tell you because they lost there last year and had to match up against that, that great defensive front. But Houston's defense is definitely playing next level. So anytime you have that, just like I mentioned with Denver, you've got a chance to win a football game. And so I just don't know if the Texans are as complete as some of these other teams are, but they are going to give Indianapolis a run for the money.
You say you're heading
Jacksonville,
to
not so much.
yeah.
yeah. Maybe another year from now.
Yeah.
But still a great season by what we've seen, compared to what we've seen from Jacksonville,
Mm-hmm.
In the Trevor Lawrence era. And
Yeah.
it starts with Trevor Lawrence. I think when people say, what's going on with Jacksonville? It's like, okay, is Trevor Lawrence really that guy or not?
Mm-hmm.
But look, they're in that position still, but I don't see them as a legitimate, Super Bowl contender at this point. Maybe next year.
You say you're going to Dallas for the Chiefs Cowboys on Thursday?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow,
So
that's
we'll
going to be something.
See what happens there.
Yeah, would you say if whatever team loses won't be able to get to the playoffs, is it done for them?
You would think it's an elimination game, really, and that's, just when doing the math. But, it's so crazy. I'd have to look and see, like, all the matchups. Like, okay, if they run the table here, then they can, hang a loss on this team and that team. And, so I don't think mathematically you can say it, but I think the team that wins definitely will gain some more momentum. And then just like Dallas, I was looking at their schedule, for example, and I know after they play the Chiefs, they've got to play Detroit, which could be pivotal in a couple ways. I mean, you look at Detroit, they're in the thick of, hey, what can they do? You talk about the Rams. Could Detroit be that team, like I just mentioned about Baltimore, that can catch fire at the end and all of that? Yeah, they can be. Now, Dallas has got to play them a week after Thanksgiving. So, you throw all these things out there about what can happen, and it can be a bit mind-boggling. But Kansas City's the other one, too, where you look at them and they've got the heart of a champion. They've got Patrick Mahomes, right? So they can win any game you'd think, or they can be in any game. So, when we start talking about what teams can kind of, still make a bid at it, there's too much football left to rule out, the possibilities for some of these teams.
Can you believe the New York Giants, with all their fourth quarter debacles here, they changed to fire their defensive coordinator this morning? But again,
cannot believe it.
They could have, I'm not saying it could win all of those games, but there's 5 of these games where they were leading late in the fourth quarter and lost.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And, they fired the head coach already, a couple weeks ago. And so now they're just continuing the house cleaning. I think we knew that the Giants, brain trust was on the hot seat as the season began. So no surprise there. But, what are you proving now, I guess, is kind of the point. No, we don't like what happened. That's what we're proving now. And the Raiders fired Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator. And, Chip Kelly, this is his third crack at the NFL. He's been pretty successful on the college level, but, you go back to both of his NFL stints with the Eagles. And, his first year with the Eagles, they made the playoffs, I think. And then after that, it went downhill. And then his 49ers stint was, in and out quickly. He was an in and out guy. He could, for that segment, he was out in San Francisco fast, and now he's out with the Raiders. So, but they paid him a bunch of money to be offensive coordinator. I think like $6 million a year, highest in the NFL. And then this is what they got. So,
hey, Jared, thanks for coming on. Thursday is going to be such a neat thing for you to cover this game. How's the media meal in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, they do pretty well. Pretty well. Like even, just for a run-of-the-mill division game, they've got, some of the writers there, they tell me they got the best press box food. But, from all the years I've covered the Cowboys, going back to the 80s on Thanksgiving, they always come up with a Thanksgiving Day meal in the press box that is, top shelf. So, it'll beat whatever you can get at whatever local restaurant you got. That's for sure. So I'll be plenty stuffed. And, hey, Kevin, the sad part about it is that, I'll have this, humongous meal and then want to, go to sleep when I have to do some work. So
well, that turkey can put you to sleep, right, Jared?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Are you going
with
cranberry sauce or gravy on there?
Yeah, that's always good. I kind of mix it up, So if I usually do gravy first, and then if I do leftovers, it's cranberry.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one though, because I'm always like not feeling complete unless I've done both. So that's where leftovers come.
Leftovers, and then you got the turkey buns the next day and everything like that, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jared, thanks for coming on again. Really appreciate it. Enjoy tonight's Monday nighter, and then a happy Thanksgiving to you, and enjoy your time in Big D.
Okay, my man. Thanks a lot, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's Jared Bell from the USA Today, and our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where biggest sale of the year is on right now with the Jeep Compass. It's that 4x4 with the starting price at $34,900, only at stalbertdodge.com. I was just seeing on this day in CFL history, Duke, it was that cold gray cup in Winnipeg in 1991. And I'm seeing Scott Oak interview Wayne Gretzky on the sidelines, because Gretzky and John Candy, part of the ownership group, Bruce McNall. And it was a chilly one. And that was when they threw it was a beer can, I think, at Rocket Ishmael when he was running down the sidelines there. I believe that was the touchdown that sealed it for the Argos. Something we can maybe address. We'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock, with something for everyone, from budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Karius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermal couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love? With no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year.
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you're treating like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building, we're elevating, we're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Program 925 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We got Josh Fenwick in the Palatial Sports 1440 studios here at West Edmonton Mall. Thanks so much for joining us on a Monday after another busy weekend in the sporting world. I was telling our listeners and Eddie off the top of the show that I went out to Jasper Place Bowl on Saturday afternoon for the 3 o'clock 5A provincial football final. Ernest Manning beat Ainley 23-20 in overtime. Pretty good game, close. There were some outstanding individual plays in the contest, but more importantly, just great to see the high school kids having the opportunity to close out the season, because we had Tim Enger on from Football Alberta and on last week, and basically paraphrasing, they're a few days away from having to probably cancel the season just because of how the teacher strike went and how, they're behind the 8 ball in the scheduling department by, 2-3 weeks here. So, for them to have the ability to close things out, they'll have the Alberta Bowl this weekend at Jasper Place with basically it's a football jamboree with all the kids from, down to, 1A, 2A, 9-man, 6-man, all the way up to the 5A provincial final. So I think it's great that, that opportunity was there. The opportunity to finish this out was there. Text 833-401-1440. Coach Vic says, can you believe the Giants didn't kick the field goal at the end? They would have won, and the defensive coordinator likely would still have a job. Yikes, from Coach Vic. The amount of games, 5 games where the Giants had the lead by anywhere between 3 and I think 10 or 12 points. Could be 14 in the one game, actually. Anywhere between 20 seconds and 7-8 minutes. And they failed to close out any of them. 833-401-1440. We had the worst board game and a lot of texts about that. IMAX says, I agree. I don't like Monopoly. Found it long, tedious. And when one person's clearly ahead, it's an hour of slowly losing all your money and properties. Duke, would you say you were a good Monopoly player? And do you buy every property? Or do you go, some of them I'm not interested in? Or do you buy every one?
If I land on it, I'm buying it.
Every one.
It's a numbers game. You rack up the properties themselves, and then you're dealing from a position of strength with trades and whatnot to get the color sets and get some hotels or houses and then hotels put on them. So yeah, I think people that pass and it depends on the rules. Some house rules, everybody plays a little different. Are you a player, Kevin, or a game rule maker that if you don't buy it, it's just pass, or does it go to auction for the other players in the game?
Like as soon as you land on it, if you don't buy it?
Yeah, like if a square gets landed on, it has to be bought that turn. If not by the person that landed on it, by someone winning it in auction.
No, it just stays for the next person to land on it.
Yeah, see, the
The real rule.
The real rules say it goes to auction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can maybe get it at a lesser price.
Well, sometimes, or more likely,
Can you buy it in the auction too if you want?
Yep. Yeah. Like you can go back in on the auction even if you passed on it initially,
Really?
which can be smart. Let's just say there's a property that nobody lands on for rounds and rounds and rounds, and all of a sudden a bunch of other players are maybe a little bit shorter on cash, and you know they're not interested in it. Maybe you send it to auction, and you can in fact buy it for cheaper than its actual listed price.
And Eddie, he'd be the type of guy that just buys Mediterranean and Baltic.
Good value.
Yeah, that's all.
So cheap to put houses on.
Yeah, he just doesn't want it.
It's that's we laugh at it because they are such, abysmal properties. But think about it when you pass go and you get your $200 and then you land on what's the higher of the two?
Baltic.
You land on Baltic with a hotel on it, and all of a sudden you got to pay 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I'm net negative. I just passed go. I was hoping to use that money to get a house or two for my own properties, and now I'm down $250.
I always think that the best 3 set is the Marvin Gardens one, yellows.
You think so?
Yeah.
So, but are you a believer in trying to monopolize a corner of the board or a full side of the board?
It doesn't matter. You can't go into it. I would say a corner.
I like the orange. I like the orange-red corner.
Yeah, so I would go
right around
red and yellow. Red and yellow.
That's a full side of the board.
Indiana.
That's a side, not a corner. Goes brown, light blue, magenta, orange, red, yellow, green, dark blue.
Okay, whatever. I like St. James. No, I like Indiana, Illinois.
That's red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Marvin Gardens are
Marvin.
right after that, past that railroad.
Yeah. Did you hear Eddie when he left here? Did you hear what he said?
Something about Rosie.
Nope.
Oh.
When he left, he goes, by the way, I wouldn't have done those push-ups either. The principle of it, the morals of it.
Yeah, I did hear him.
Believe
I did hear him say
he
that.
said that after he greased me about not doing them for.
Well, yeah, it's a radio show,
hour.
Kevin. It'd be boring if you guys just agreed all the time.
But
Eddie knows the biz.
Yeah, and he said I would have never done them either.
That's funny.
JR in Red Deer says Duke's a farmer. If there's property, he's buying it. Oddball, this is great. This is a really good one. Kevin, you have won second prize in a beauty contest. Collect $10. Yeah.
That's the worst.
What's the one where you got to pay the tax and you got to figure out what
like
you got?
On your hotels and stuff?
Everything, right? Luxury tax, right?
Well, luxury tax is space on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a
card.
I can't remember if it's a community chest or a chance card, but I think there's one in each stack that essentially says, you have to pay a certain amount of dollars per house and per hotel. So if you are a mogul at any point in the game and maybe you just spent all your money shoring up on houses and you draw that card, you can be in deep trouble because it is expensive.
It is, yeah. I'm not sure if this is correct. Lance texts in. Fun fact, Monopoly was invented by a female economist to teach people the dangers of capitalism.
Yeah, I can't verify that for sure, but I have heard that it was like it's the game Monopoly. It seems to, be celebrating capitalism and stuff, but it was actually invented with the inverse objective.
And wasn't it like around the Depression?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. When it was invented or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I recall, the guy that put maybe it's this woman, I don't know, all the patents on it, Duke, they didn't think there was going to be at all successful.
Really?
Yeah, when they went and this because again, it was too long. The game lasts, more than you can invest your time in, like Eddie was saying.
I don't buy that. Like you're sitting down to play a board game like in the evening.
What's the longest Monopoly game you ever played?
Oh, hours for sure.
Yeah, we had one that went.
And I'm not saying I've completed every game I've ever started playing with people, but like we would play every now and again when I was living in Fort Sask with Chucky Slick and his now wife and the big Saboya would come in. We'd have games and we'd sit there for a few hours and play that, and then maybe even dig out the Risk board after. Yeah, go into the wee hours of the morning playing Risk.
Graham texts in Mousetrap. Ridiculous game. Takes longer to set up than play and very anti-climatic.
That's a great answer. I doubt you've ever played this one.
I have,
Kevin.
because it's got that trap on the very top.
Yeah, like
funnels down.
the commercials, because this
Mhm.
was when I was a kid, and maybe the game's older than that, but they were still advertising for it from my youth. I remember watching and be like, the commercial, be like, this game looks unreal, right? Like the board actually moves and these things happen, but then you do play it, and it is very well put by that texter, exceptionally anticlimactic.
I'd like to get that. What was it, Operation Duke?
Yeah.
And if you could juice up the ampage,
so it actually shocks
Oh
you.
yeah,
not
you
just
really get it.
buzzes
Yeah,
you.
you get a really good one.
It's
Just
real
you gotta
real
hook
life
up-
operation.
Hook
It's
up a
called
bigger battery to it.
called testing the electric fence. My dad all the time. You're younger than me. You grab that, see if it's working.
And
Oh, whatever.
little zap.
Yeah, just a little. Oh, there's nothing compared to the cattle prod that I've taken a few times.
So you, but the cattle prods, they don't use them in the rodeos anymore, do they? Or do they? I don't think they do.
Not anywhere anyone can see them anyway.
Just
Maybe out back in the pens, but
underneath or whatever. 833-401-1440. Mike Vrabel reporting that left tackle Will Campbell's right knee injury. He doesn't think it's going to be season ending.
he's having a great rookie season out of LSU. The big knock on him coming out was his arms were too short to play tackle, Kevin.
Unreal, eh?
And so he slid, and the Patriots got him, and he's certainly looking like the best lineman in the class. Kelvin Banks is down in New Orleans. Kind of nobody pays much attention because the Saints stink. Josh Simmons in KC's having a pretty solid rookie year, and he was at the end of the first round because he was injured, didn't play last year. But it's funny how just little things like that can make people balk at a draft pick. And it's like does that really
3
matter?
inches, 2 inches? Come on.
It's like just his wingspan is shorter than average for a man of his size. It's like, well, guess what? He's still a pretty big dude. He's an O lineman playing at LSU.
The PWHL kicked off this past weekend. Kenzie Lalonde will be with us right after the break to talk about where the league is, expansion, man. It's growing. And she'll be by right after the break. It's a Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. And we're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Aloha, Edmonton. It's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Dennis here from Weiss Johnson, along with my brother Mark.
Hi there.
My bro is the go-to for all our tough installs.
I do all the hard work. He gets all the glory. Mister, I'm on the radio.
Hey, we can't all be famous, but seriously, Mark's the best. And he's here if you're looking to add a legal basement suite in your home.
We install tons of furnace systems for folks wanting basement suites. It helps to subsidize their mortgages.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Obviously.
Weiss Johnson, your legal suite heating system experts.
Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 940 in Edmonton. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. It's so easy to play. Just visit sportselect.com. You can generate a QR code. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly as we welcome back Kenzie Lalonde from TSN, PWHL play-by-play broadcaster. Morning, Kenzie. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles this morning, where it's much sunnier than it was when I was in Vancouver the other day. So
wow.
I'm trying
LA.
to soak this in.
LA, you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'll take a work assignment in LA. I'm just on the road with the Ottawa Senators this week. So this is their first stop tonight.
Yeah, and that's a prime game, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
So always great when you can do stuff. I mean, can't imagine how busy you are now with the PWHL and then Senator stuff. So, man, you got to be, it's exciting, but, you know, I can't imagine, again, the amount of travel, work, and preparation. Can it be overwhelming at times, Kenz?
It's busy. I mean, I think that's a great problem to have in this business. So with the launch of a pro women's league the last few years, it's been fun to kind of go back and forth between the two leagues. And before you know it, there's crossover stories. And, you know, a lot of the NHL guys have sisters in the women's league too. So it's really fun to be able to have my feet in both.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, for sure. So what did you make of the weekend here and the PWHL season getting underway? Thoughts on opening weekend?
Yeah, so fun, right? I mean, it felt like it was taking forever to kickstart the season. They do start later than the NHL. The women start that last weekend of November typically. So opening night was pretty fun. The season opener, you saw a rematch of the Toronto Scepters and the Minnesota Frost. Toronto lost to them in the first round of the playoffs again last season. So it's always great to see those two teams go head to head. And we saw some rookies like Maddie Wheeler find some production. And then when I just look over to the Vancouver Seattle inaugural game, that just felt so historic. I mean, the first time these two expansion teams took to the ice, you had about 15,000 people at Pacific Coliseum. and the building was electric. It was remarkable. I mean, yes, Seattle got on the board to kind of silence that crowd early, but it went down to overtime. You had Abby Boreen, a new face coming in from the Victoire, score that overtime winner for Vancouver. So the hockey gods were in favor of Vancouver that night, and it was a good show.
What have you made about expansion so early yet? And it's hard to get a gauge on what we're going to see moving forward here, Kenzie. But I think you would be the first, and we've asked you many times when you've come on the show about expansion, especially out west, because we haven't had teams out here to to follow, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. We're only in season 3, and we've got two new teams out west. So you can tell they're trying to go coast to coast, and that's really exciting. I think touching down and getting started in the Pacific Northwest is important, because you're already going to go that far, and then between now and the next 5-10 years, you have to think they're going to sprinkle more teams in between the Vancouver back to the East Coast. So I think to get started in a city like Vancouver, where you've got that rich history and excitement for pro women's hockey, and then Seattle as well. I think that's such an up and coming sports market, especially in the women's world, whether it's soccer, basketball, or now hockey. So that they've selected exciting cities where they have shown economic prosperity and appetite for women's game, that they're showing they have the facilities available to provide top class resources to these teams. That's important when they're picking a new expansion team location. So those two cities checked all the boxes, and just having a chance to see Vancouver's experience up close and personal. There's $5 beers. I mean, who's not going to come out to a game if that's what you're going to be providing for a fan experience? So I'm excited to see how these two teams play this season. They're very much favored to be strong, dominant teams, and we saw that in Game 1. So it's an exciting, start to what is only season 3. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Kenzie Lalonde from TSN with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. When you talk about expansion, was there? And I think you said when you were on last year with us, Kenzie, in the sense that the league wanted to make sure they do this properly, and they could have had more teams to start. They could have done that, but they wanted to make sure that everything growth-wise and the process was at the right pace moving forward. Is that something that you've seen here because of just waiting a couple of years to get these two other teams going?
Yeah, am I still surprised that we're seeing 2 new teams in season 3? Yes, I am surprised how quickly expansion is happening. But based on how the first week has gone and seeing what response has happened in these new markets, it totally makes sense. And the product on the ice is still top class and elite. You're welcoming 2 new teams. That means more players, more jobs available for these athletes. So it is good news. I think the quality of play has been exceptional. This most recent draft class was really, really strong. You have some top talent coming out of top college programs in the NCAA, and we're seeing more European players come over that have been playing in Sweden or playing in Switzerland. One of the big names to bring in someone like Michelle Karvinen. She's an experienced Finnish forward. She's 35 years old, 12 world championships, 4 Olympics, one of the most decorated Finnish skilled technical players in the women's game, has chosen to come over to the PWHL, and she's playing with Vancouver this year. So the appetite's there. It remains the top tier league to be a part of in pro women's hockey, and we're seeing it become a priority. The PWHL has done a good job in working with the IIHF, the International Hockey Federation, to make it a priority. They shifted when the World Championship is, so that this pro women's league no longer has to go on a pause for a World Championship. Essentially, a World is going to kickstart the pro women's hockey season. So it's really nice to see the league and the international game work in tandemship, because the women's game is different than the men's game in that sense. The pool of athletes isn't as large as the men's game. So you really do need to prioritize these pro leagues in order to make them successful.
Kenzie Lalonde with us on Sports 1440. When Howie Draper went down, as you know, he's the head coach of the Pandas. He went down to New York to coach for a season. One of the things that he was talking about down there, where they did have a little bit of a problem, was they never had a home. Does the New York Sirens team now have like a home base, because they were moving around a bit there?
Yeah, well, their home base is Prudential Center, where the New Jersey Devils play. I think playing in NHL-sized facilities is a give or take. You never know what your attendance is going to be that night. There's quite a few American clubs here in the PWHL that play in NHL buildings. New York being one of them. The Minnesota Frost play at Excel, or I guess it's not called Excel anymore. But anyways, the Minnesota Wild rink, and now we have the Seattle Torrent playing in the Seattle Kraken facility. So these are larger rinks, and they are not the primary tenants. So you are not, you don't see your logo and your branding around the rink. And I think that's what's so fun and unique about Vancouver's experience is they are the primary tenant at Pacific Coliseum, and you see it. Their logo's at center ice. You've got branding all around the rink, and the Agrodome there is their primary training facility for Vancouver this year. So New York, it's a market that's challenging, right? That is such that's a tough it's a tough city to bring in something new. You're competing with a lot of eyeballs and a lot of sport fanatics, but their team's remarkable. Again, they come out with the first overall draft pick. So you hope that this young star-studded team this season can be successful, make the playoffs for the first time this year. But again, I feel for those teams, New York in particular. They always go into opponents' facilities, especially in Canada, where you're filling these rinks and you're always the enemy. You're waiting for your own fan base to feel like this electric environment, and they may not get that on a night-to-night basis. Whereas in a Montreal or an Ottawa and Toronto, it's an amazing atmosphere. So the American cities it's going to take a little bit more time, I think, to start to fill these rinks in comparison to Canada.
And we're going to have the takeover tour across North America here with games all over the place. 2 more here in Edmonton, as you know, Kenzie. Saturday, December 27th, it's Minnesota and Vancouver. Then in April, it'll be Boston and Vancouver. How successful do you think the takeover tour is when it comes to continuing to grow the women's game?
Oh, I think it's significant. You're able to showcase the product across North America. I mean, I would love to one day see a European takeover tour game, place these teams in Sweden, in Finland. But for now, having a chance to place these games in rinks all across Canada and USA is important. And I think that's step one to identifying where will the next expansion teams succeed. And so, what I say to cities, if you get a takeover tour game, is come out and show up, because the league is looking. They're watching to see what the response is. What's the economic opportunity in this city? Do you have the facility? So as much as it is a chance to celebrate and bring the product to these new cities, it's also a tryout, if you will, to see if it could one day be a successful club. So to know there's 2 locations on deck this season for Edmonton, that's really exciting. I worked the one last year with Ottawa and Toronto, and it came to overtime. That rink was electric. So Edmonton has some exciting hockey coming. You've got the rivalry series as well. Cheryl and I will be there in December, which is the final evaluation period before the Olympics. So those are going to be 2 important games on the horizon. So Edmonton's going to play a big part in shaping some of the women's hockey this year. It's going to be fun.
That rivalry series, that's going to be, as you said, that's the tipping point for players to be selected. What are your expectations about those games?
Yeah, huge. We've heard from the coaching staff on both Team Canada and USA, the PWHL and college hockey is the primary evaluation tool. So these coaches are going to be watching to see how these athletes do within their teams and within their leagues this year, to shortlist their roster in the same sense as NHL as well. But these 2 exhibition games that, let's say, the men don't get is really your up close, personal, final chance at showing the coaches what you're all about. So it's the final straw of who's in, who's out, what do they look like. So it's going to be exciting. I think we saw in the first 2 games that were held in Cleveland and in Buffalo, head coach of Team Canada, Troy Ryan, really played some of the newer faces. So we saw new goaltenders playing. We saw the youngsters getting chances on in the lineup spot. So I'm interested to see if they'll use the same approach for these final 2 evaluation games, or will they very much use it as a tune-up, kind of play their expected Olympic roster and see how they do. So I'm not sure what the coaches will do for their approach for the final 2 games, but it's a huge opportunity for the athletes and also for the fans as kind of a send-off before they go to Italy and see what the talent looks like, because anytime you get Canada and USA going head-to-head, exhibition or not, you're in for a good game. So seeing the likes of Poulin and Hillary Knight go head-to-head in Edmonton in December is going to be exciting.
Do you have your working assignment already for Italy?
Yeah, so myself and Cheryl Pounder will be the play-by-play color commentary voices for the women's hockey. So dream opportunity for me. I was there as a reporter in Beijing in 2022. So to now get the call to be in the booth and bring the stories back home to Canada is a true honor and responsibility that I'm looking forward to. And I'm excited to get to Italy. It's a busy hockey season, and no bigger than having the NHL back at the Olympics and the women's game at the top of its game at the Olympics. So it's going to be a fun one.
Have you been to Italy before, Kenz?
No. So if you have any recommendations, we're in Milan. We're not far from the women's rink. So I'm hoping for some good dinners.
Oh, you'll be having some fun for sure. Maybe just one last one with the PWHL. And, everyone here in Edmonton was thinking and hoping that, there's a possibility to have a franchise here down the road. Do you think it's going to happen in a couple of years? What's your take there?
Oh, I'm sorry to break it to fans. I have no insider information to who would likely get a expansion club, but Edmonton has shown to be a successful hockey city, especially for fostering the women's game. Calgary as well. I think it would be extremely successful in Edmonton. If they wanted to work inside the NHL facility, why not? Finding a practice facility will probably remain their top priority when I look at Edmonton's landscape. So identifying those types of resources for them would be priorities. But I think, again, we saw one touch point last year with the first Edmonton Takeover Tour game between the Charge and the Scepters, and that didn't disappoint. So to know that there's 2 this year and a couple rivalry series games as well, I think it can help bridge that gap of the travel sequence that is the East Coast and then out to Vancouver. So they're going to have to sprinkle in some teams between that landscape. So why not explore Alberta? You have to think it's at the top of the list just because of the rich history. So we'll see.
We will see. Hey, Kenzie, thanks so much for your time this morning. Enjoy the Senators and Kings tonight. Take care.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
All right. That's Kenzie Lalonde from TSN, PWHL plus Ottawa Senators. And again, we just even a text from Richard just now. PWHL skipped Edmonton again. No respect for me. That's from Richard. Well, I mean, everything has to be in place here. It starts with ownership. Now, does the OEG want to be invested and have a team here? You're looking at, what are we looking at? 15 dates. It's a 30-game regular season schedule. So you're looking at 15 dates. What would you be looking at for, because you have the Oil Kings, you got the Oilers, obviously. So that's 2 teams. And the Oil Kings are, they're 36 games here on home ice. So you have to have the building availability. You have to make sure that, that the games are going to be on and in certain times in the building where it works. And you can, make sure that the crowd is going to be there. I mean, we're going to see it on December 27th and April 7th. I mean, the December 27th game is a no-brainer. People are going to get tickets for Christmas presents and your stocking stuffers and things like that. But, I mean, and then the Olympic rivalry games, too. So I would imagine that people within the PWHL and across the country see Edmonton as a viable market. But everything has to come together. Sure. When we come back, top of the hour, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. At 10:20, Sean McIndoe from The Athletic covers the NHL. We will zip around the NHL, talk about it was shutout Sunday with 4 shutouts yesterday. Probably Colorado. We'll discuss with Sean many other things. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. I'm brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and even South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
7 games in the NHL tonight. Jersey hosting the division-leading Red Wings. Rangers welcome St. Louis into MSG. Philly takes on Tampa. Washington hosting Columbus. Preds play the Panthers. Vegas visiting Utah. And Monday Night Hockey on Prime has the Senators looking for a third straight win in California when they take on the Kings. NFL's Week 12 wrapping tonight from the Bay as the Niners host Carolina on Monday Night Football. Panthers can take the lead in the NFC South with a victory. Kickoff at 6:15. Raiders are firing offensive coordinator Chip Kelly just 11 games into his tenure as the highest paid coordinator in league history. And the Giants reportedly letting go defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. New York has blown 5 fourth-quarter leads this season. In the association, Raptors look for their 8th straight win when they host the Cavaliers. Tip-off at 5 from Scotiabank Arena. None of the games, including Miami taking on Dallas. The Knicks play the Nets in Brooklyn. Memphis hosting Denver, and Golden State taking on the Jazz in the nightcap. Finally, Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax. Draw 6 went this morning, where the Gushu and Dunstone rinks remain perfect with wins over Epping and Cleater, respectively. Brad Jacobs and Alberta's Kevin Cooey also picked up their second wins of the round robin. Draw 7 getting underway here at 11 o'clock. Alberta's Kayla Skrlik playing Kate Cameron. The undefeated Carrie Anderson playing Caitlin Laws. Christina Black taking on the Brown rink. And Rachel Holman's group takes on Alberta's Selena Sturmey in the feature matchup. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sean McIndoe from The Athletic covering the NHL. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hey everybody, it's Team Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise to the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Puckberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
It's the Nissan Black Friday event, a full month of excitement packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive offers. Right now, finance the Nissan Kicks for 0% for 24 months. Plus, get $1,000 Nissan bonus and enjoy an epic ride wherever you go. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
Back to the big program, 10:03 in Edmonton. It's a pretty good song, eh, Duke? I saw them. I snuck in to the building, eh? Did I tell you the story?
Why can't you just buy tickets to these places? You're always sneaking around backstage, getting people to smuggle you in and rubbing shoulders with the bigwigs.
Not really. But I did got, I like, it was at Rexall.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the back and the security guard says, you can't go in.
What are you doing back
here? You
here?
can't go in here. And I said, well, I left a bunch of stuff. They called it the oil drum back there. It was a little room where the like shed was set up.
Oh, okay.
It was right by, like, you know, when you walk to the bar in the old Rexall.
Like underneath.
Yeah, there was a little room in there. And I said, well, I got some couple notes and books and whatever I got to get.
I'm Kevin Karius.
Guys. I think he just looked, he goes, you know, don't lie. Don't, you know. So anyway, I ended up into, is it Nicky Six? Is he the drummer?
Okay.
I think is.
I'll believe you.
I don't know. I thought he was. Anyway, or no. Nicky Six is the singer. The drummer is Tommy Lee, right?
Really?
No?
I'm
Am I out to lunch here or what?
I don't know. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm totally out to lunch on stuff like this. No, is Bret Michaels not the lead singer of Poison?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm out to. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know.
Here, I'm just pulling up the. Where's the band members list on Wikipedia here?
Never mind. Whatever. And anyway, snuck in. I was in some other room, and the guy said, "You can't be in here." And then I ended up somewhere else. So I don't know.
Yeah, Bret Michaels, lead vocals, guitar, harmonica. Ricky Rocket,
maybe
drums. Bobby Dahl, CC DeVille, and then formerly Matt Smith, Richie Kotzen, and Blues Saraceno.
And I'm confusing them a little. I think
you're mixing up bands
with Motley Crue a little bit.
Yeah.
But I can't remember whatever. It's a long time ago, Duke. Anyway, it's 20-some years ago.
Few drinks ago.
Well, I mean, I had my brown leather jacket on. I went right in. And it was looking good.
Feeling groovy.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. Mike from Kindersley says, we're talking about board games and long, like Monopoly. Settlers of Catan?
Mm-hmm.
Have you played this?
No, but I had a ton of friends in university that would play it. They'd like have parties on Friday night. And yeah, like you want to talk about Monopoly or Risk or the farming game. I think that this might take the cake in terms of time investment into it. And it seems fun, but I've just never played it, never got into it. I don't know the rules. That seems like something maybe Josh would play.
Maybe.
Because Josh is a big, and he says no, but you talk about time consumption. Josh is a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons. There's a time commitment to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons.
How long does that play?
Well, it can take hours, can't it? As long as you want it. As long as you want it to, I would think.
Yeah, takes a long time. DMing, part-time job.
What's that?
Dungeon master.
Oh,
so when you run the game,
you were saying like a direct message.
No, DMing is in like dungeon master and takes a long time.
I thought he said BMing.
Yeah.
No.
Day one, Dave's correct. You're mixing up Poison with Motley Crue. That's right. MTR says, sometimes I think Karius starts sentences or thoughts and doesn't know where it'll end up. What do you mean sometimes? Probably most of the time. Poison Man, not Motley Crue from Jason. Yes. And Poison is, what's the guy's name again? What did you say his name is?
The singer?
Yeah.
Bret Michaels.
And he was on, didn't he not?
He was on Masked Singer.
Oh, was he? But he had a show where he dated a bunch of women too.
He
right?
did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like Farming for Love, but except for he was.
Well, yeah, a lot of celebrities, they get their own little spin-off dating shows. Take this for what it's worth. The only one I really remember was A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. That was on MTV in the early 2000s.
Tila, what's her name?
Tila Tequila.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, she was like a singer, I guess. I don't know. I don't think she. Maybe she did other stuff.
Is there a new season of Farming for Love, or do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You got to get on this show, Duke, man. Like this would be massive for you.
That's what I'm going to use my 2 weeks of holiday for next year, is to just go beyond Farming for Love.
I just think that would be like, you've got the charisma. You've got obviously the attire.
At Cowboy Up.
You got the farm.
It's not my farm.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to film it out there.
I'm a couple spots down the succession line. No, Kev, if I were to go on Farming for Love, I would be one of the daters. I would go to a lady's farm and like she would be the host. because I don't farm anymore. I'm not a farmer. Believe it or not, Kevin, I do not leave this building every day at 1:30 and head to the homestead and work the land, work the kettle. That's my hobby now, and by hobby I mean I go back sometimes when requested or when I can. I was supposed to go on Saturday, help my sister wean some pale bunners, but I forgot I'm working pre and post game because Walks is headed to Vegas.
On when is this? On
this weekend. Like Walks
Saturday?
is going to Vegas for American Thanksgiving to watch the games, and then I think he's going to the game in Vegas on Sunday. If that checks out, if they're
the Oilers it's a late game. No, it's
it's a matinee. So I'm pumped because I'm gonna come in, do pre, head down to first round, try this PB&J burger, come back and do post. And I lied. Vegas is in LA, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But Walks is going somewhere this weekend.
I mean, this is this week for the Oilers is you can't get better than this. I mean, they got, they'll practice today. You got Dallas tomorrow, and then you have 3 days off. So they'll take the 26th off, I would imagine. Who knows? They might even take an extra day off. But come back and no, because they'll leave with that 2:00 game. They'll be leaving fairly early on the Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after that, you got Sunday off. And let me just see. Then it's 5 straight home games, Duke. They got Minnesota on next Tuesday, Seattle, Winnipeg, Buffalo, and Detroit. And then they go out on the road for their last road trip of the year that's extended with Toronto, Montreal, Pitt, Boston, and Minnesota. So some sort of normalcy, I think, for a little while here.
Yeah, light week. I mean, three days off here after this Dallas game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ask for. I mean, that would be a nice little reset after that. 2 weeks on the road.
Your buddy Nails Duke will start his own show, radio host with Cats for Love.
How about Eddie sending us? I know you loved it in the group chat. This clip he was watching. I don't know, some sort of TMZ TV or something about apparently Sierra and Kelly Rowland saying their number one red flag in a man is having cats. And so Eddie just thinks this is hilarious. So he takes a video of it on his phone and sends it to us and his reasoning was because I was chirping him for wearing his his Apple Watch or whatever, smartwatch with his suit.
Yeah.
This goes back some time, right? And that was his payback, was be like, oh, look, Kelly Rowland thinks that it's bad for a man to have cats. And I was like, what do I care what Kelly Rowland thinks? She's old news.
We were touching on the curling trials. Here's that guy, Duke, the commercial I was telling you about. That's the guy from Seinfeld.
The Frogger guy.
Yeah, the Frogger guy.
And that's Nikki Glazer.
That's his name?
No, that's the woman.
Okay. Anyway, Call of Duty Black Ops, that guy in the commercial, if you've ever seen it, he's from Seinfeld when they were moving the Frogger game. We were talking about the curling, Duke. I think everyone, they go Gushu, Jacobs, right? But my pick to win the men's is Dunsey. Matt Dunstone is my pick to win the Canadian curling trials for the men.
Is he curling out of Saskatchewan this year?
You know what? I don't know, because I thought he went to Manitoba. Did he not?
Well, I thought it was the other way around. I thought he started as a Manitoba curler and then was out of Saskatchewan.
I do know that he wanted to move out of Saskatchewan a while back, but his sponsors said, no, we're not, because all the Mosaic and all.
Did you know his nickname is the Sheriff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They had all his posse in the stands this morning.
That's funny. No, you're right, Kev. Saskatchewan 17-22 and then 22 to present with Manitoba. But he was with Manitoba before as well, so I guess I'm also kind of right. 2012 to 17, he curled under the Manitoba flag.
So I don't know. There's something about him right now that I just was watching him and he looks
I'm kind of torn because I think this is it for Gushu, right?
Yep.
His first, he kind of burst onto the scene by going to Turin in 2006. It will be a pretty fitting finish to go once again wear the Maple Leaf in Italy at the Olympics. I think that would be cool. But is the Briar not in Newfoundland this year?
St. John's, yep.
So if he's at the Olympics, correct me if I'm wrong, he will not be curling at the Briar.
That is correct.
So, like, pick your poison. I think either way, you're going to get a great story out of it. But do you want him to have the home event for his final Briar, or go back to Italy for a second time and try and win gold at the Olympics?
He would tell you the Olympics.
Well, I know for him, but for us, the viewers, right?
Yeah.
Is it time to get a fresh face ahead of them? Because Jacobs has been before too.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be a guy like Dunstone or McEwen? I'm just trying to look at refresh the stat. I mean, hey, Kevin Cooey's 2-1.
Yeah. Is Dunsey 3-0?
Dunsey and Gushu are 3-0. That's correct. And then Cooey and Jacobs 2-1. McDonald, Cleater, winless. McEwen and Epping each with 1 win.
Mm-hmm. I love the website or whatever you want to call it, Vintage Oilers, because they always have the on this day.
I thought you were going to say the GSOC. The GSOC website, as we call it around here.
Sam. Today in Oilers history on this day, the Oilers traded Paul Coffey. That was Paul Coffey, Dave Hunter, Wayne Van Dorp to the Penguins for Craig Simpson, Dave Hannon, Chris Joseph, and Mo Mantha. That's probably, would you say that's, I mean, the Gretzky trade was more of a sale. Everyone says that. But when you think about trades, would this be number 2 for you after Gretzky, if you want to call it?
I think so.
I mean,
the Pronger trade was huge,
but
he was only here a year.
Yeah.
Right. And I get it. They were off the Stanley Cup final appearance, the controversy that surrounded his exit from the city. But yeah, the Coffee trade, I mean, you just look at those names you just listed off, right? Is a massive ordeal.
Yeah. And that, I mean, the Oilers get another cup in 88 and then another one in 90 with, Craig Simpson was key. Obviously, Chris Joseph was young, man. I mean, I think he was traded at 18 or something like that, right? So, former co-host, and also, what was he, 5th overall in his draft?
Yeah.
So,
we're trying to catch up with Joe here, see how his coaching's going this year.
He's so damn busy.
That's what always makes it tough, right?
Exactly. When we come back, Sean McIndoe from The Athletic will cruise around the NHL after a busy weekend. Look forward to the games this week as well. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Yeah, I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Sports 1440 is proud to support the Camrose Kinsman Radio Auction. Tune in Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight, live from the Bailey Theater on our sister station, New Country 98.1. All proceeds go to the Kinsman Club of Camrose to serve the community's greatest needs. For more, visit sports1440.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Will Hawk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and if you're serious about selling your used RV, then I'm serious about getting you the money you want. You're not the only one who wants to spend the winter in selling mode rather than storage mode, and we're happy to help.
People come to No Bull RV 12 months of the year, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. A used RV is one of a kind, which means when the one you're looking for comes along, customers quickly pounce on it. So if you've outgrown your RV or you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just turn it into cash, come see us at No Bull RV.
You have to be serious about selling, though, right, Rick?
Better believe it, Bob. This is for people who truly want their RV gone. If we're going to store your RV for free all winter, it has to be priced to sell. And that's why customers come to No Bull 12 months of the year. Because you never know when the perfect used RV is going to arrive. And if it's here, it won't last long.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:20 in Edmonton, and time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Hey, quick heads up. It is tire changeover time. And right now at Fountain Tire, you can save up to 15% on select tires. It's the perfect excuse to get road ready and save a little cash as well. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we welcome back Sean McIndoe from The Athletic to the show. Good morning, Sean. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, right on. Thank you for having me.
So I just reading your article here this morning about the NHL weekend rankings and the oncoming holiday tidings of Canadian panic. How could you even get the Quebec Nordiques in this article? Wow.
It's their Canadian NHL team. They're having a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a break. That's okay. Some of us still believe.
Yeah, but it's hilarious that you have them just ranked just slightly ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Doing a little bit better than the Maple Leafs these days. The Nordiques do not exist and probably will never exist, but it could always be worse.
It could be the Leafs. What's going on in Toronto here?
I wish I knew. I really did. I mean, just nothing is working with this team. And I mean, we can start with last year. Last year's team was a very successful team during the regular season, and they did win a playoff round. So, I mean, this was, you could make a case that was the best season of the Austin Matthews era. They finally won the division, and as far as finishing first in the regular season, finally got a quote-unquote easy matchup in the first round that they could make some hay on. So there was reason to come into this year with some optimism, but when you looked under the hood and you looked at some of the things with last year's team, there were a few warning signs. You know, they had really done it not as a very good 5-on-5 team. They had been special teams and goaltending, and look, those are parts of building a winning hockey team. They count, but they're not always the most reliable. And this year, they did not get that kind of Vezina level goaltending from Anthony Stolarz even before he got hurt. The special teams have not been there. Obviously, they miss Mitch Marner. All that money they saved and then put towards other guys that were supposed to fill in and recreate Mitch Marner in the aggregate has not worked. Craig Berube doesn't seem to have any answers. Brad Treliving seems to just be a deer in the headlights at this point. And I don't know where it goes from now. Right now, as we speak on Monday morning, they are dead last in the Eastern Conference. That's not good. Not good for a win now team.
It doesn't, it's hard to fathom. I mean, people in Toronto must be going bananas with this.
Oh, people in Toronto are pretty chill when it comes to the hockey team. They're pretty laid back bunch. Yeah, it's getting ugly, and there's everybody wants something to happen. Nobody can agree on what should happen. Is this a case of a step back? Is this case of, hey, the window is closed, we got to start all over? And on that topic, let's throw in another piece of what's making people miserable. Maybe you look at this Leafs team and you say, it's just not meant to be. This is time to take that step back and to do the rebuild. Okay, bad news. You don't have your first round draft pick in either of the next 2 years. Boston's got this year's and Philadelphia's got next year's, and they got those in trades for Brandon Carlo and Scott Lawton, who are good players, decent players, but those are not the guys that you want to have skating around knowing that, hey, this could turn into a high draft pick at some point. The pick this year is top 5 protected, which means if it all fell apart and the Leafs crashed to the bottom of the standings, they could get a high pick, but then they don't have their next 2 after that, so you can't really do the full rebuild. And that's not going to happen either. The Leafs are going to pick 6th. We all know they're going to pick 6th and give that pick to the Boston Bruins, the highest possible pick they can. We've already figured that out. The question is just how they get there from here on out.
Well, Sean McIndoe from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. So a lot of injuries. You mentioned it. What about Austin Matthews? How close is he to returning?
We've been told for a while now that he's close. We don't know exactly what the issue is because when it comes to Austin Matthews, we never know. The Leafs, like just about every other NHL team, play injuries very, very close to the vest, and especially with Austin Matthews, we know he's had this mystery ailment for a little while now. We don't know if this injury is directly related to that, partially, maybe not at all. But we're expecting to get him back soon. Austin Matthews was not great to start this season. He looked a lot more like last year's 40-goal guy than the previous 60 or 65-goal guy. And look, there's nothing wrong with having a 40-goal center who can play 2 ways, but when you've seen the 60-goal version of that, and that's what you built your team around, that's what the expectation is. And he didn't look like that guy for the first few weeks of the season. And then before he got hurt, he was starting to play that way again. You were starting to see not just some goals, but some of those Austin Matthews goals. Mm-hmm. He's not a guy, he doesn't score by banking them in off other guys or, by tapping in open nets. He scores goals on things that you don't think are scoring chances because he's got that shot. And we haven't seen that much for a while. We were starting to see it before he got hurt. So now is it back to the drawing board or does he come back and hit the ground running? We'll see. But there's going to be a ton of pressure on him to do it because this is not a team that can afford even a few more losses in a row before things get really, really ugly in Toronto.
The Athletic, Sean McIndoe with us on Sports 1440. Across the league, Sean, when you look at, maybe I'm just can't remember from years past, but I don't recall where there's one team that is in a group all by itself, and that's the Colorado Avalanche. And then everyone else, there's another tier after that. Normally you'd have 2 or 3 or something like that. But man, Colorado's just in a league of its own to start this season. What have you made of their first 2 months here?
Yeah, and they've been fantastic. And you're right, there isn't that second tier because it just feels like there's, out of 32 teams, there's probably about 25 that are all mushed into the middle and feel pretty interchangeable these days. And Colorado's the one team that's got some separation. And look, that's important. You look at the regular season, I talked about the importance for the Leafs last year, finishing first, getting that so-called easier matchup. There's no easy matchups. There's no first round buys, but you can certainly, if you're in the Central Division, you're looking down. You don't want to be playing Dallas in the first round like Colorado had to do last year and paid the price for it. You don't want to be playing a Winnipeg, or maybe it's not Winnipeg this year. Maybe it's Minnesota, as hot as they've been. But you don't want to play a team that has emerged as elite in the first round. So getting that bye getting that shot at potentially playing the wild card in round one, instead of having to play one of those top teams, that's pretty important. And they've built a nice padding. It's not a ton. I mean, they've got 5 points. You wouldn't think that in 4 months left of the season that would be insurmountable, but they've looked really good. Guys are mostly healthy. They've got the goaltending sorted now, which obviously was the big problem at the start of last year. So they're certainly the favorites now. I mean, I don't think there's any argument that they're the top team. A lot of runway left on the season, a lot of chances for things to go sideways or for some other team to emerge out of that mushy middle. But hopefully somebody does, or else the Avs are going to run away with this thing.
No kidding. When you look at teams that maybe, I think Anaheim, everyone thought, okay, they got some talent here and could maybe push for something in a wild card. San Jose, I don't think was in that conversation. What do you make of these younger teams that they're just playing fearlessly right now? They're not worried about anything else, just going out and letting it buck. And that's what I see when I watch, Anaheim, Seattle, throw them in there too. I mean, it's
Chicago too. Another
yeah.
team that we're all looking at the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes this year, and now that's that storyline is sort of out the door. There is an advantage, I think, sometimes to being the young team, that you're so young and inexperienced that maybe you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know that you're not supposed to be able to do something. And a lot of teams, when you're coming out of a rebuild, I've said it a million times, making the decision to rebuild is an important one. It's something that teams need to do in this league. We've seen it, that you take a step back to take the step forward. But when it comes to making that decision, the teardown is the easy part. That's the part that gets all the headlines, and you make the big blockbuster trades, and there's all this talk about who's going where, and it can be its own kind of fun for fans, but it's the easy part for a GM. The tough part is, okay, once you've stripped it down to the studs and you've got all those picks and prospects, and you got to turn them into something, and you got to hope that you get this blue chip system, and Corey Pronman loves your farm system and all of that stuff. But then eventually it is time to put the car back into drive and to press the gas pedal and to start moving forward. And we have seen lots of teams do that. And when they hit the gas pedal, the wheels just spin and you don't end up going anywhere. And I mean, you don't have to look much further than the Buffalo Sabres, who've been doing this dance for 14 years and counting now. It's not always as easy as saying, let's get a bunch of picks and prospects and then we'll be good. But when it does work, and when those tires do start to move, that's the fun part. And really, I'm happy for fans in places like San Jose and Anaheim that have been waiting a long time for this, because it's fun. That first year where there's no expectations, there's no pressure. Hey, if we make the playoffs, great. And you know what? We'll go into the playoffs. No one will want to play us because, who knows what we're capable of. The pressure and everything that gets dumped on a couple years later. For now, it's the fun part. And yeah, there's a lot of teams, and especially the Ducks, doing it with scoring and, all of this. I'm sure it drives the coach crazy, but they're so fun to watch. And San Jose, the same thing. A long road to go to get back to being contenders, but they're fun and they're relevant, and they're a team that you want to watch. The days of flipping around the channels and going, oh, Duck Sharks, forget that. No, now you see that matchup and you go, I'm sitting down because I want to watch some great young players do what they do best.
Sean McIndoe with us on Sports 1440. What do you make of the Oilers and the Panthers here, Sean? Obviously, the Oilers went to the last 2 Cup finals. Florida, the last 3. That's a lot of miles, a lot of wear, a lot of tear and injuries. But where are you at with these 2 teams that are below the playoff cut line? Not by much right now, but below it.
Yeah, I'm certainly not writing either of them off. The Panthers are the Panthers are a bit easier to understand. I mean, they lost their best player for, if not the entire season, most of the season to injury. They have been without arguably their second best player, Matthew Tkachuk, obviously Sasha Barkov being the best player that they lost. That not too many teams could lose their 2 best forwards, if not their 2 best players, period, and not see it reflected in the standing. So I think most of us we're waiting for Tkachuk to get back. You wait and see where, can they find that level? Can they get back into the playoffs? Forget about winning the division or whatever have you. They've got so much playoff experience. They know what to do. They could get in as the 8th seed and they'd be every bit as much a favorite as they felt like in previous years. The Oilers, there's obviously more concern. You've gone through the whole Connor McDavid storyline with all the vultures circling around that all off season. And then he finally signs the contract and says, okay, this is your chance. Show me what we can do. Let's go and build a winner. Let's go win that cup. And so I can make the long-term commitment. And obviously terribly disappointing first month plus at this point. All of us on the outside we're all waiting for the goaltending move that we assume has to happen, but so far has not. I still can't get my head around a scenario where the Oilers don't make the playoffs. We have seen this to an extent from them in the past where they get off to the slow start and then they're right back in it. Again, I would put them similar to the Panthers, not quite at the same level, but similar in the sense that if they get in as a wild card, nobody's going to want to touch them. Nobody wants to go up against the Connor McDavid postseason experience. So they should be fine. They should be. But that should is still doing some work because they have to be. They can't possibly afford to have this season go off the rails. If it does, who knows what that leads to in the future. I don't think it's going to happen, but I am kind of sitting back and watching because if it does, look out.
Sean McIndoe with us on Sports 1440. The Canadian Olympic team, Sean, and I just want to touch on the goaltending and the possibilities there. You look what Scott Wedgwood's done in Colorado. Obviously, Logan Thompson's been mentioned. Darcy Kemper quietly having a very, very good start in LA. Where are you at with who you would throw on this team, especially when you look at what Jordan Binnington did last year at Four Nations and what he has or has not done so far this year?
Yeah, it's tough, and it's an obvious position of weakness. I'll start with Jordan Binnington. He's on my team. I think after last year, after what he did, after outdueling Connor Hellebuck in overtime of the gold medal game, Jordan Binnington is on the team. Now, that doesn't mean he's my guaranteed starter. That doesn't mean that everyone else is just competing to be a backup. But he is my guy that's going to be one of my three at the very least. And he's been, let's just say, he's been awful this year. The numbers are absolutely terrible. But he's given the experience and given that nobody else is really breaking the door down, Jordan Binnington's on the team. And as of right now, I think it's the two guys you mentioned, Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper. I think are the two guys that both of whom were very good last year as well. You could make an argument that either one, maybe even both, should have been on the team last year. And now you've got an even bigger sample size of saying, okay, these two are pretty good goaltenders. They're not all-stars necessarily. They're not Vezina guys who are gonna win that trophy, but that's okay. Team Canada doesn't necessarily need that. They need guys that are good enough. I think these guys can be good enough. And they may have to be, because you always kind of hope somebody else is going to emerge out of nowhere and solve your problem for you. It doesn't sound like that's happening. So Team Canada might have to make do with what they've got. And I think what they're going to have is three pretty good guys that you feel okay about, and maybe a coach with a quick hook to find out which one of those three is actually going to be the guy.
Do you have Celebrini and or Bedard, both one? What do you got?
I think I've got both at this point, and I wouldn't have said that maybe even a couple weeks ago, because we all know how coaches think, especially in tournaments like this. It's the fear of the mistake first and foremost. Doesn't matter how good somebody is. The first thing a coach is going to think is, can I imagine this guy making the mistake that costs us the game against Team USA or whoever it is? That knocks us out of the tournament. And when you're dealing with young players, and Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini, neither one is exactly running away with a lot of Selke votes right now, which you wouldn't expect. That's not what players that age do. So I would have been nervous about bringing both of them, and maybe on some level I still am. But at a certain point, you got to bring the guys that are threatening to win the Art Ross Trophy. I mean, if not, what are we doing here? It's all well and good to plan your team around what are we going to do when we have a 2-1 lead and we need to protect that lead. Okay, that's great. Team USA's got a fantastic blue line and the best goalie in the world. It's going to be tough to even get that 2-1 lead. And you got to, if all you do is build a roster that can protect a 2-1 lead with your Sam Bennett's and your Anthony Cirelli's and all of these guys, maybe instead of a 2-1 lead, maybe you're down 1-0 in the gold medal game. And now you're looking down the bench saying, we need a spark. We need somebody that can go out there and do something special offensively. Boy, I wish we had Macklin Celebrini. Boy, I wish we had Connor Bedard. Boy, I wish we had both of those guys and we could just throw them out there and let them do their thing. I think at this point, on my roster at least, I think I've got both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I think, and again, what does it tell you? Like, then you might as well pick the team in the summer. You know, what are we doing here? These guys are playing their hearts out here, and they're leading their respective teams in scoring. They're top 5 in the NHL. So what's it telling you? It's saying that what you did doesn't matter here in the first 2-3 months of the season. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Hey, Sean, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the Monday night slate of games in the NHL, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for coming on.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
That's Sean McIndoe from The Athletic. And the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, it is tire changeover time. And you can save up to 15% on select tires right now. Check them out at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we'll get to more of your texts, 833-401-1440. As we wrap up the show, Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. And again, if you prefer the paper selection slips, we got you covered. Just head to your local lotto spot retailer. It's 100% legal. Get them in. They'll spit them out. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. We're back to wrap things up on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select, and we're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Aloha, Edmonton. It's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
The Junior Prospects Hockey League sports season is now underway. The JPHL offers elite athletic and academic opportunities for players in the 14U, 15U, 17U, and 18U divisions. All games are broadcast live on Silent Ice TV, featuring a showcase-style schedule and competitive matchups across Western Canada. Players work with experienced coaches, trainers, and elite hockey personnel. Learn more about Western Canada's fastest-growing elite hockey development stream at juniorprospectshockeyleague.com.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1042 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. as well as Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. We had a text earlier. Well, we actually just brought it up. The biggest trades in Oilers history. And if you want to call the Gretzky deal a trade, yes, you have to put it in there. A lot of people just call it a sale more than anything, because on this day in history was the Paul Coffey trade. I had a couple texts earlier. What about Mark Messier? Well, I think I would have it behind the Paul Coffey trade just because of the amount of players. And Messier was traded for Louis DeBrusque, Bernie Nichols, and Stephen Rice. So I just think when you look at the trade for Coffey with Dave Hunter, and you're bringing back Chris Joseph, Dave Hannon, Craig Simpson, Mo Mantha. So you got 7 guys. Wayne Van Dorp also going to Pittsburgh. It sort of set the table for the Oilers in the sense that they got younger. I mean, Paul Coffey was Paul Coffey, man, oh man. But they were looking to the future with Chris Joseph. But Craig Simpson was a big part of, 1990 for sure. He was unreal in the playoffs. And because obviously after 88, it was way different with, Wayne Gretzky leaving and things like that. But I would say the Coffey trade goes 2 for me. Think about the Messier trade. There was, man, you can think about all the Ranger trades. It seems like they were doing a trade with the Rangers every second day with, guys like Mac T and, Todd Marchant coming back and Dougie Waite. So I don't know. 833-401-1440. Kenneth texts in. Oh, and Kenneth said he bought a Trivial Pursuit Sports Edition from a secondhand store. It's from the early 80s. He says, do you want it, Kevin? I go, no, give it to Eddie. He needs it way more than I do. Kenneth says they do need top-level goaltending, proven in 4 nations. Great goalie, won them the tournament. One game for your life right now. How are you not taking Binnington as your Canadian goalie? Well, I think, Sean McIndoe said that Binnington's on this team. Maybe not the starter, depending what happens. Levi texts in and says, Thompson's the starter. Not even close. Duke, Thompson is your guy. Is he your number 1 guy?
If the tournament started today, then yeah. I really don't. I'm in agreement with Sean about the fact that Binnington earned his spot on the team pretty much regardless of what happened to start this year with how he played in Boston, particularly the gold medal game, or obviously, or championship game, whatever you want to call it. But to not take into any consideration about how this year has gone when you're icing your initial lineup, it's just like you said, Kevin. It just tells the other players around the league that the team was already picked. It doesn't matter. And, guys like Aiden Hill, Sam Montembeault, they have not had particularly strong years to date, and I think have played themselves off of the team. Guys like Blackwood, injuries. You bring up Wedgwood's name repeatedly and rightfully so with his numbers.
He's
in the
played
early
more
going.
than anyone
in
the conversation. 975 minutes. Wedgwood's got a 2.09 goals against average. A 918 save percentage, which are both better and more time on the ice than Logan Thompson. But the fact is that he's a 33-year-old goalie, and he hasn't been on the radar for Hockey Canada since he was a junior.
He played at the World Juniors for Hockey Canada.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
15 years ago.
Is it?
Crazy.
Is it?
We would have been 19 or 20, right? Or 19, I guess. It's a U20 tournament. So, it's crazy to think because it doesn't really seem like that long ago. I still remember him playing in the tournament. But yeah, like you're absolutely right. He deserves consideration.
He's probably number 4 right now.
I would agree. Like I think in this next month, it's going to take a significant drop off or not significant, but a drop off in Thompson's overall play, which we actually have kind of seen in the last week since he played the Oilers. Actually,
that's right.
He got pulled over the weekend. That was the first time Washington has pulled a goalie this season. And for Kemper, right, like the Kings, they're kind of still rolling along near the top of the division. He's playing well, and then with that in tandem, Wedgwood's going to have to keep this up. That's kind of where I'm at with that. And is it fair? Yeah, maybe not. But at a certain point, history does come into it, and you can't just take the hot hand it has to be some sort of combination of current level and track record.
You know who's played the third most minutes in goal?
Among Canadians?
No,
or
just
in the
just
league?
in the NHL.
Who are the top two?
Dustin Wolf's number one.
Well, shocker.
Yeah.
Kevin Cooley. A few more great sound bites from him over the weekend.
And Cooley has the best goals against average, not in limited time though.
Yeah. He's a backup, right? But no, I
Number 3, your boy Lucas Dostal.
He's been excellent. Another big Ducks win Saturday night over Vegas. That's twice they've already beat Vegas this year. The Mitch Marner giveaway that led to the OT winner. That was a tough one.
Linus Ullmark's at 2, Dostal 3, Shesterkin 4, Saros 5. You know who 6 is?
Stuart Skinner.
Yep. Almost 1,000 minutes for Skinner. There you go. Cam Tate's in the newsroom here, or the studio. Looking good. Man, oh man. What are you grinning at, big guy? He's just laughing and we're here. Did I miss anything on the text line as we wrap things up?
Well, a lot of people correcting you about your Poison and Motley Crue mix-up, which we did cover that. You admitted
Very quickly.
You were a little confused.
I don't know why I thought that was.
It's early. It's Monday morning, coming out of your fugue state weekend.
Yeah,
it's tough for you. No, I think that was pretty much it. We had a pretty well segmented show today. That the text kind of really followed along as we worked through. So that was
Buddy
good.
Nail said, I ain't chirping you, Duke. You're a very responsible young man. Not many could keep your schedule and also look after barn cats in an apartment.
So true. It's a good point. My schedule's very packed.
Not really.
Oh, well, I'm playing all these hockey games. I work here. Got to watch
not swinging hammers, Duke.
Watch the action on the couch every night.
Is your Rachel Holman playing here at
11 o'clock?
11?
Yeah. Holman and Sturmey feature matchup for the Canadian trials. Looking forward to it.
And Dunsey, he's probably got a bye, I would imagine.
The afternoon draw for the men, draw number 8, is McEwen, Cooey, Jacobs, McDonald, Dunstone, Gushu, undefeated teams, and then Epping and Cleater. So yeah, but yeah, the rest of this next slate, the midday, if you want to call it that, obviously the women's draw: Cameron, Skurlik, Holman, Sturmey, Einerson, Laws, Black, Brown.
Text 833-401-1440. Goalie Greg from the Jungle goes, what was the trade that we got Doug Wade? I always thought it was in the Messier deal. No, Dougie Wade was Esatikinen.
There you go.
And you think about that, that was 93. I'm just looking it up right now. 1993, March 17th for Esatikinen. Dougie was actually traded several times now that I'm back in July of 2001. Traded from the Oilers with Michael Reason. The Swiss Miss. Remember him, Duke? No, probably not. They called him the Swiss Miss for Marty Reisner, Jochen Hecht, and Jan Horacek.
Okay.
And that's that's when, they couldn't afford them. All those guys in St. Louis, like Keith Kachuk and Dougie Waite and then Billy Guerin down, they were all making 10 mil kind of thing in that area. That's how the salary was going back then. So that's up there too. I mean, Dougie Waite was a great Oiler for a long time, but when you're looking at trades, again, the Gretzky trade is one, if you want to call it a trade or sale. Number 2 would be the Paul Coffey, which is on this day back in 87. Levi says, when do the rosters have to be in for the Olympics? What do we got, another month, Duke?
December 31st is the deadline for provisional roster submission of 22 skaters and 3 goaltenders. I wasn't aware of this, and now that I read it, I think we talked about it with Frank, like back a month ago, October 15th, the federate, like each country had to submit a list of 42 skaters and 5 goalies.
Well, why is everyone saying that there's 90 guys on the Canada?
Well, that's what I'm confused about here. Maybe this is because this is Frank's
for the drug reasons.
This is Frank's tweet from the end of September that it says October 15th deadline for list of 42 and 5, December 31st deadline for the roster, and then obviously the break is the 6th to 24th. The games are 11th to 22nd. February 25th NHL resumes. Maybe maybe we can ask Frank about it tomorrow.
Well, and Frank's going to come on tomorrow and Wednesday?
Yes, he asked if he could have the holiday off.
Wow.
Big deal south of the border, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Frank's got
And the Eagles play Friday.
Yeah. So maybe Frank will sneak out, go get himself a really moderately priced new TV, and then be home in time for a 1 o'clock kickoff to watch it.
So we've got 11 o'clock.
11,
Packers,
2:30, and
Lions,
6:20, yeah.
Chiefs, Cowboys, and then Bengals, Ravens.
The nightcap.
And then Friday is Bears, Eagles.
Correct.
Well, we're going to do all 3 games on Friday, are we not?
I would think so.
And you're taking...
I have the Monday nighter. I'm taking the Panthers to cover the points.
Wow. I have old man Baker. He's got San Fran, so it's a wash for me. Well, that was a quick show, Duke.
It did really fly by.
Started flying and got Monday hockey. I don't know if I'm going to go today, though. Is hockey tomorrow and then Thursday, Friday?
Some of the
4 games.
Some of the guys down at the Saturday skate that Walker will invite me to when they're desperate for a body. They were asking about you, saying, how come KK's never out at any of these?
I never get the invite.
That's not true. Walker has invited you.
No, he hasn't.
On air.
No,
he said you're welcome to come whenever.
Well, okay. Well, how about a time and a date and a place?
Friday. 12.
No, we already have the Fridays.
12:15.
No,
at, I can't remember what ring.
I would think
They're
about a
everywhere.
Saturday, Duke, but that's it.
Well, Saturday, the Saturday is, and this is what they tell me, is their most competitive day. And it got pretty, there's some physicality going on Saturday morning. I don't want to brag, but I will anyway. I won both games, even after switching ends. So I went 2-0.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Montana to Rice. He's got what? Niners by 1 million tonight.
Hey, if the Niners win by 1 million and Ricky Pearsall has like 200 yards, 15 catches, and 3 scores, I'm okay with it, because that is literally what I would need to win my Dynasty League matchup. Thanks to some really, like, the Vikings suck. Jefferson is like bordering on the point of you can't even play him.
I know.
He's like a team's 3rd wide receiver in fantasy. It's pathetic.
Well, good stuff, Duke. We'll back. Guess who we got tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen? Brian Propp will join us. The one-time Melville millionaire back in 1976. Scored 76 goals with Kelly Dean at center. And Brian Propp set the SJHL record for goals as a 16-year-old. That's how good he was. But had some health problems. So it's going to be a great interview tomorrow at 9 bells with Brian Propp. Don't miss that one. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is
Fantasy Frenzy
with the former Ross Shep T-Bird,
Connor Alley,
and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Ellen Mitchell. 2 to 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We've got Fox Sports all night. We are back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner is ready. With Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals, choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. Shop local at loca.ca. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks for all the great texts. Thanks for being a part of the show. We could not do it without you. Really appreciate you coming along for the ride here on a Monday morning. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. We're back with you tomorrow at 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Seven games in the NHL tonight. Jersey hosting the division-leading Red Wings. Rangers welcome St. Louis into MSG. Philly taking on Tampa. Washington hosts Columbus. Preds against the Panthers. Vegas visiting Utah. And Monday Night Hockey on Prime has the Senators looking for a 3rd straight win in California when they play the Kings. NFL's Week 12 wrapping up tonight from the Bay as the Niners host Carolina on Monday Night Football. Panthers can take the lead in the NFC South with a victory. Kickoff at 6:15. The Raiders are firing offensive coordinator Chip Kelly just 11 games into his tenure as the highest-paid coordinator in league history. And the Giants reportedly letting go DC Shane Bowen. New York has blown 5 fourth-quarter leads this season. In the association, Raptors look for their 8th straight win when they host the Cavaliers. They'll be without RJ Barrett, who is out with a knee sprain. Tip-off at 5 from Scotiabank Arena. None of the games around the association, including Miami, taking on Dallas. Knicks play the Nets in Brooklyn. Memphis hosting Denver. And the Golden State Warriors face the Jazz in the nightcap. Finally, Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax. Draw 6 went this morning, where the Gushu and Dunstone rinks remain perfect with wins over Epping and Cleator, respectively. Brad Jacobs and Alberta's Kevin Cooey also picked up their second wins of the round robin. Draw 7 getting underway at 11 o'clock. Alberta's Kayla Skrillick playing Kate Cameron. The undefeated Carrie Anderson takes on Caitlin Laws. Christina Black playing the Brown rink. And Rachel Holman's group taking on Alberta's Selena Sturmey in the feature game. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.